Each Sunday, in the early hours, as the sun goes blood red, then fades to darkness, three wee lads, one of them far more weird than the other two, leave their womenfolk behind and journey to an empty radio station in New York City. There, they rise up against the bloody rubbish of the radio industry that plays the same 15 songs off a hard drive and gives away tickets to crap concerts. This is the Lazlow Show, starring Big Wayne.
I gotta say, I've done a lot of coke in my days and paid very little for it.
And Reed, who wears a dress and rides a scooter.
You know what? I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring in my registration papers because technically, according to the state of New York, it is a motorcycle.
And Cousin Ed, whose girlfriend hasn't got grass on the pitch, if you know what I mean.
So, she said she's 18 in December? She's going to hear this, and she's really going to be mad at you.
One show, fighting to show 'em we're no dogs but men. Men who remember freedom, where 16-year-olds can drink and listen to metal music and smoke at bars and get into high-speed accidents. Men who have punch cards at Planned Parenthood. One show that could be shut down in a moment. Until that moment, this is the Lazlow Show.
Lazlow Show, episode 16. In this episode, the runes were true. K-Rock is soon to be no more. Plus, we go backstage at the Bloodhound Gang and Audio Slave shows. Reed interviews a drunk redneck. Cousin Ed interviews David Lee Roth. We have comedian Amanda Nelson on the show. The White House attacks the Onion. Head writer Todd Hansen comes on to defend himself. And oh yes, with this music, I feel very important. Kick things off, DJ BC crashes Biz Marquee and the Rolling Stones with Can't You Hear the Biz Knockin'?
Ladies and gentlemen, how do you do? It's been a long time, but without further ado, the diabolical came to get the job done, cause I'm the boogie and the master of fun. If I get ready to rock, I'm ready to get down. The grand groove here to prove a different sound. I gotta get funky for the Y2K. Each and every time I know what to say. East, West, Midwest, and the dirty South. Over here the way that I've been rocking the house. All the ladies and the 2Gs like Steve Aaron, you make me weak at the knees. I'm glad to be like here with y'all. Drug players play, and ballers ball. So I'm here to confess that I took the S off Superman's chest. He got mad cause I felt Lois Lane's breath. I asked her could I touch him and she said yes. So I guess that I got the most finesse, cause I wear G-Mo feel like Afro academic and guess. When I watch cartoons I watch Johnny Quest. I wake up in the morning and shower with zest. It's shower with zest. It's shower with zest. I hope you understand the rhyme I express, and that you know Papa don't take no mess. You're rockin' with the best, so forget the rest. Cause you know that the biz always passes the test. Like if I was in high school sitting at a desk, staring at a teacher looking up a dress. You gotta admit that the rhymes are fresh. Right about now I got it, right about now I got it, right about now I gotta take recess.
Now adjust the volume control so that the sound can be heard in all parts of the room. Immediately following this announcement, you will see a flash and hear a beep. These should happen at the same time.
Let's try it again.
93 K-Rock. It is the Lazlow Show, episode 16. Got Big Wayne sitting in as sidekick.
Yeah, man.
Cousin Ed.
Do I have a title?
I don't know what you are yet.
I want a title. I want to be somebody.
Sidekick,
sidekick. How about the guy that didn't get fired this week?
Yeah, that's. I'm nobody in Philly anymore.
Cousin Ed from WYSP in Philly is sitting in with us. Oh, I'm sorry. Was it free?
94.1 Free FM.
As we predicted last week, we said it's probably going to go down on Tuesday, and it did.
Did you say that up here on the air?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks for the warning.
Last day something on the inside.
Wait, dude, you called me like 2 weeks beforehand, and you're like, there's some strange guy in here that's downloading the entire contents of all of our music and commercials into a big portable hard drive. I'm like, dude, you're about to flip formats.
I smell something. Something's going down. What's all this new equipment for? Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. Also, Reed, the useless producer, who is back from North Carolina, and you brought interviews with rednecks.
Yeah, one particular. It's always golden stuff down there.
So,
are you related to this person?
Probably. Yeah.
So yeah, Reed went to a big barbecue festival last week. He called in from it, and he was down there. The guy's pretty loaded that you were interviewing.
Well, that's what he said. You know, he had probably like 4 fingers of scotch in a glass, and I asked him what he was drinking, and he was like, "What are you talking about?" That's when I knew things sort of went off the rails. Good stuff.
We also have Cousin Ed's interview with David Lee Roth.
It's an old one, but it's considering what he has to say, it's
pretty interesting.
And considering what his new job will be, it's interesting.
We also have some footage of a kid playing Xbox Live who forgot to turn off his headset while he got into a screaming match with his mother. It's absolute gold. Reed sent that to me. We also have some audio from The New Trend, which is a video podcast. People are shooting TV shows now and sending it out to those new video iPods. And boy, are they good. They suck on ice. What else do we have for the show? We have a comedian.
We have a comedian.
You actually booked her about 2 hours ago in typical fashion.
No, because the guy we had before rudely canceled on us.
Really?
Because, you know, it's only, or it was the biggest rock station in the country, and we can't get anyone on. So, no, but she's going to be good.
Can we talk about the other guest that we've already met?
No.
Why?
Oh, you can.
Oh. Reed's family,
way.
Who has...
I've already bonded with her.
Me too.
I threw out a Herman Hesse quote and I wooed her. She's like, oh,
right.
He's the smart one of the group.
I know.
Why are you quoting Hesse?
I don't know. It just came to mind.
The thing is that we had to write it on his hand so he could remember it, you know.
I'm going to impress somebody tonight.
Yeah.
Great. With writing on your hand.
Reed's from Virginia?
Yeah.
Right. So he has about 18 brothers and sisters.
3.
And what, did your family like making little soldiers for the farm, or how's that work?
Yeah, we needed them for the harvest. You need at least 3 people for the harvest.
Right. Of course, I'm sure 8 of your siblings died in childbirth or something, right?
So after meeting this one, what are the other siblings? Brothers or sisters?
1 brother and 1 other sister.
How old's the other sister?
She's 22. Right. No, come on, man.
Well, she's 22.
We need pictures.
And you're how old?
I don't know, but it's kind of disrespectful to think I would shame your family if I hooked up with one of them. You know?
I can't believe you're not mad at me about the opening.
And you changed it to 18.
I took it out of context. You were talking about that. This intern, this cheerleader that wanted to be an intern was sitting in cheerleader pictures of herself. She's 17, and so you were talking about that on the last show, so I sort of spliced that in.
So you made it seem like my girlfriend is 18.
Right.
Or she'll be 18 in December.
You know,
right.
Wayne was asking me, when you make your girlfriend a mixtape, do you start right off with the Barney tune, or do you, like, go in for the kill toward the end?
I start with a Poison ballad.
Yeah, this week, dude, I called Cousin Ed from Backstage at the Bloodhound Gang show. That was, I have to say, of all the concerts I've been to recently, that was probably the foulest concert I've been to in a while.
Now, what happened here in New York? Because in Philly, I think they got hit by a shoe.
Oh, there were shoes flying.
Bam Margera showed up and hit the guitarist with a shoe himself. A crippled guy in the crowd got hit by a T-shirt. And the funniest thing about it was they were yelling at the crowd in Philly because not enough people showed up. So which makes no sense. Let's yell at the people that actually did show up and pay money.
Right. Well, no, at this show, first off, we went backstage at Irving Plaza, and that sounds, really kind of cool and luxurious. It was honestly like you're in a closet with like 12 sweaty guys drinking.
That's what Backstage is these days. It's
It
not like
stinks.
what you thought it was with the strippers, or back when, like, what was it, like Metallica would have, like, girls naked in the shower waiting for them. So when they got off stage, they had girls in the shower already naked, like 16 of them. They just walked in, they got bathed. It's
Really?
not like that anymore. Now it's just like, it's a cattle call, if anything. Line up, one autograph, one picture, move along.
Yeah, but they were, you know what? They were actually cool because they know that you and I have supported that band for 10 years.
Since they sent us beer.
Since they sent us beer and bologna sandwiches in the mail.
We know how to get them.
Back in 95. But I'm telling you, they said that their rider, that when they came to places, people were shocked. Their rider has more booze on it than food. He's like, yeah, we kind of got rid of the food. Food's kind of, played.
And you said they drink a lot of Red Bull.
Dude, I saw Jimmy Pop.
He's hyper as it is.
Dude, he drank 4 Red Bulls and Grey Goose in probably the course of an hour. And he goes, yeah, last night I had about 12 or 15 of these.
Before he went on stage?
No, just during he's drinking Grey Goose and Red Bull, and then after. And he said he woke up and he didn't know where he was. Then he realized he was on the tour bus.
And it was Wednesday.
And it
wasn't his tour bus.
Right.
You have those cassettes?
Yeah, right here, man.
You're going to tape the show now?
We had more equipment breaking in the other rooms.
But I didn't think you were going to record tonight, so I was just going to say whatever I wanted.
No, dude, I got to have a record. There's people in Norway that need to hear what's going on with the show.
Yeah, but I could talk trash about people in Philly if you're not going to record it.
Oh, we already talked enough trash about people in Philly, including your girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. She won't hear that part. Let's stop that from here on out.
Dude, Cousin Ed calls me this week and he's like, yeah, I got a meeting at 5 with the radio station, and there's another meeting at 5:15, which, staggered meetings are never a good sign when they're calling the whole air staff in and you're going in 15-minute.
I thought I was proud because I think I've been in the business too long, so I knew something was going down. They probably figured, we should just tell Ed because he knows too much. Let's just tell him, make him feel comfortable. And I thought I was the only one that's going to find out. And I see the other night guy, on the elevator. Like, what are you here for? He goes, 5:15 meeting. I'm like, ooh, not good.
Yeah, because the only thing they can do in 15 minutes is, hey, you've been great.
Sign here.
It says you won't sue us.
Here's your severance package. Bye-bye.
Did they offer that to you?
What? No.
Ed still has his job.
Yeah, they said they want to keep me.
All right.
Temporarily.
Ed's going to do it. Ed's going to do a talk show.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
A talk show with no help. That's what kills me. Like, well, if you want me to do a talk show, everybody else has a whole team and writers and producers and interns. Give me some people. No. When you can do a 4-hour talk show, then we'll get you some help. I'm like, that's a lot like saying, all right, when you fully don't know how to have sex, understand how to have sex, and you can have sex, then we'll give you a penis. but not until then. Cart before the horse. Thanks, guys.
That was the most disturbing metaphor I think I've ever heard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
but it made sense, didn't it?
It did.
No.
Are you mad because I said penis in front of your sister?
Yeah, we forgot to. So Reed's underage sister is here.
She's not underage.
Have you ever heard the word penis before?
She's not underage. She's fully of age.
And I'm digging the dreadlocked hair, which goes well with Wayne's dreadlocked beard.
Which is crazy because 40% of the people in this room now have dreadlocks.
That's how we roll.
I know, right? Yeah.
Wow, and he's good at math.
And it tells me a lot about her, if you know what I'm saying.
What does it say?
What does it say?
She likes to puff.
Do you puff?
Do you puff?
Don't worry, the family ain't listening. Don't worry, the family ain't listening.
Yeah, your family in Virginia, they don't even have radios down there.
Really?
Too
Look,
busy.
She's got writing on her hand or arm like I do, see? Look at that.
Wow.
That's some guy's number or something you met downstairs?
Reed, she already has my phone number, see? It's
No, those are phone numbers of strange men that come up to her at the deli and talk to her for 45 minutes and say, I'm going to make it a special experience for you, lady.
Reed called me this week and said, I almost got a ticket on my scooter, but my sister sweet-talked the cop.
I'm telling you, this chick is like Forrest Gump, dude. She's just been wandering around the city. She's getting me out of a ticket. She's talking to people. People are offering to be in their art. What else? People on the subway just come up to her and are like, hey, man, I want to photograph you nude.
Wow.
Yeah.
I do, too.
I lived here 10 years.
I'm happy with just seeing a nude. I don't need to photograph it. That might get me in trouble.
Back off.
Sorry about asking her that on the subway. Really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you don't actually do art. Right. Yours would just be a sort of one of those disposable
I'm
Kodak
a photographer.
cameras.
Laszlo, I got a gallery at my house, do I not?
Yes, he has he's like all
No,
these...
not of women. It's an art gallery.
Right. He's one of those people that sees like a steel girder and he's like, I'm going to take a really expressive black and white picture of this and put it on my wall.
Right.
Hey, can we go back to almost got a ticket on your scooter? How does that happen?
Well, that happens because I don't move it when it's alternate side of the street.
Well, you weren't like driving erratically or anything.
Right.
No helmets and
popping wheelies.
And I heard that
it was parked
standing
actually.
on the handlebars and
And I heard that you were I heard that Sis was riding on the scooter.
No, sis never. Well, she did. Yeah, one time she
Standing on
actually.
me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, what was that? Just
I don't
now?
know. It's just a
it
little-
sounded like a burst of aliens trying
You know
to
what it
communicate.
was? Is the board is set up wrong again.
Do you know what it means when somebody rides behind you on well, you said it's a motorcycle legally, isn't it?
Legally, it is.
you
But
don't-
that doesn't really save me with you guys.
You know what
does
the
it?
terminology is then?
For what?
When somebody rides that way. It's called riding bitch.
Oh, so there's a person in the back, the bitch?
Yeah.
Oh, or are they
Person in
both
the
the
back.
bitch? Okay.
Like a guy should never ride on the back of any other guy's motorcycle or another girl's motorcycle. It's just not right.
No, I agree. But she's a girl. It's all good.
So
But your sister.
Your sister is riding bitch. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Look,
Which
man.
is in Virginia is all good.
It's all good.
Sometimes it's just about transportation, boys. You need to accept that. It ain't all. It means something.
Do you have a helmet for her?
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
Let's take that out of context.
Sometimes.
Do you have a helmet for her?
We're like 10 minutes into the show and already it's gone wrong.
He's looking,
very
at the
wrong.
clock. He's like, is it over yet?
Right, please. Is the comedian here yet?
I got a helmet backstage. Okay. You know what? I'm happy to say that I got a helmet backstage. But it was from Jimmy Pop. He gave me like this old
J-Pop give you a helmet?
1980s bike helmet that had Tard written across it with an arrow pointing down.
I'm sad to say that I've seen Jimmy's helmet before, so I
Have you?
Dude,
he pulls it out on stage all the
I've
time.
never seen so much male nudity at a show.
Really?
They were screaming at this. There was this couple in the front row that were obviously pretty loaded, and the place was packed. And they're like, "Take off your shirt." And so the chick, like, "Yeah," she started to take her shirt off. They're like, "Not you." They drag her boyfriend up there and say, "We'll give you $100 if you dance naked to this next song." And they play, "I wish I was queer so I could get chicks." And this guy is loaded up there with this junk bouncing around.
Excellent. I love it.
And my girl says to me, "If you ever did anything like that, we're done. Done."
I don't think there's anybody who goes to a Bloodhound Gang show sober.
Dude, I was buying a T-shirt.
If I was sober and I saw that, I would leave.
I was buying a T-shirt on the way out, and because I had to leave right toward the end of the last song to catch the train, there was a guy on the ground with his face twitching, like eyes twitching, with paramedics over him, like looking very concerned.
That was lupus.
Yeah. That's when you know the music's good, man.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
when you have a seizure.
And dude, I was talking to Lupus, the guitarist, like a week ago, and I said, "Hey," because he's actually in the new GTA game, and I said, "Hey, I got a copy of it. I'll give it to you when I see you backstage." Blah blah blah, and. He's like, I'm like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "Oh man, we're all sick." And I'm like, "Oh, it's weird. It must be the rigors of, being on the road or whatever." And I mean, granted, backstage, they're all drinking like horses or fish or some animal.
Those are the riggers, yeah.
But they go up on stage, and in the first song, Jimmy Pop hawks a loogie through the air, arced, and it lands right in the bass player's mouth. And he shoots it back, and it lands in Jimmy Pop's mouth.
No.
And they wonder why they're sick.
And and then they start telling the crowd to spit on him. And so there's loogies, and the poor security at Irving Plaza, dude, covered with loogies all over their faces. It was bad.
At least when you go see Gwar, like the human fluids,
Gwar!
the human fluids are fake, at that point. You never see,
Wait, hold on. When who goes to see Gwar?
when people
Gwar.
go there.
Huh?
GWAR.
Whatever, Gwar.
They're from Richmond, Virginia, baby. Represent.
Whoa.
They're like the Gallagher of metal, you got to have the plastic because they have blood, and I don't know if I can even say the other
You
word.
cannot say no.
I can't say that.
No.
It's an S word.
No, don't
No,
say
you
it.
can't.
You cannot
They have
say
bodily
that.
fluids.
Yeah.
Our spokesmodel down there, she spells everything out now. She's so scared. She's like, yeah, and they were having SEX. I'm like, spelling it is still a bad word if it was a bad word.
Your spokesmodel, that's a bright girl.
Yeah, she's not too bright, but her sister's hot.
Well, your spokesmodel's pretty cute.
Your sister's not the only one who's hot. What are you looking at me like that for?
And
all good.
The thing that's nice about a spokesmodel is you could be rude to her.
Oh, she's so Jersey, yeah.
And she just, hee.
So your radio station has its own spokesmodel. That's what
Isn't
you're
that
saying.
crazy?
We have a spokesmodel with irritable bowel syndrome.
How do you know that?
Because I've been at remotes with her and things like that, and when we leave, she gives me a ride home. Next thing you know, we're doing 100 miles an hour. I'm like, what's the deal? She pulls into Applebee's on the sidewalk and jumps out of the car and leaves the door open and comes. I'm like, what happened? Blows up the bathroom.
Nice.
And so then she gets mad when I tell her, I get on the microphone, I get on, up on stage, I'm like, and here's our spokesmodel who has irritable bowel syndrome. Why do you tell people that? Because you do. We went to a haunted house earlier this week, and it was one of those haunted houses where you had to put your
She's
hand.
just in a room going, brrr.
You had to put your hand on the shoulders of the person in front of you, and I'm like, I am not walking behind her. Something's going to pop out and scare her, and somebody else is going to pop out.
What? How could you be so dumb that, that's great. We've got an ooh section now.
Right.
A collective ooh.
Why would she tell you that though? That's
I found out. No, she tells me everything.
She was trying to make herself vulnerable to you.
No,
she thought it would make herself hotter.
My favorite story about your spokesmodel is you called her and she didn't know that you were taping it or something, and you said, tell me more about how you woke up this morning and there was a condom, a used condom on the floor of her bedroom, and she had no idea
whose it was.
No That's way. A spokesmodel.
Did you guys do a test or what?
A DNA test.
Yeah, we should have. Wow.
What are you going to do? And then you're going to test every drunk homeless guy in Philly?
I should take him as my producer. He's got ideas.
That's right.
So Cousin Ed has to start doing a talk show now, and he informs me, I found a guy with Tourette's. That's a good way to stay on the air.
Why doesn't curse? I thought all guys with Tourette's, every other word was the F-bomb.
We learned that like 2 or 3 episodes ago. We found out that Tourette's is the cursing Tourette's is only like 30%. The rest just go,
yeah, that's the most popular type, though, really.
He's got more body twitches, which really doesn't do anything for radio, but he did grab my nipple once, so I was happy about that.
Is that a Tourette's thing?
Apparently with this guy it is. I think it's different for every guy.
Wade calls that sunstroke. When he just grabs a chick's boobs, he calls it sunstroke.
And now I'm starting to have subway fever. Just things I want to do is I'm on the subway. That ain't permitted.
His hand starts to go toward a girl's behind when we're on the subway. I'm like, Wayne.
What, do you act like you bump into him, grab it?
Well, actually, yeah. I kind of go for that.
See if you get away with it?
Sure, why not?
I got caught staring at a girl's boob today going up the escalator. And it was
wait, hold on. Was she turned around backwards?
No, she turned around to talk to somebody, and it was like eye level. It was huge, and the turkey was done. And I was like,
turkey's done.
I couldn't stop staring.
Wayne had to explain what the turkey is done meant.
To who, you?
Yeah. I was
today.
like, I don't understand. Is it
me and Wayne both learned a new word this week, or phrase. We had to explain it to you guys. That was muffin top.
Yes.
And what's a muffin top?
When girls wear the low-riding jeans, but they're way too tight or they're way too fat, and it kind of like rolls over the side.
But they still want to be stylish and wear the low-riding jeans.
So you have the half shirt, and they have the the fat rolling over. That's a muffin top.
I love those chicks wear the belly shirts and they got a big gut. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I want to see if Laslo has a muffin top. Pull your shirt up.
Huh?
No, you don't.
I'm doing all right.
Look, he sucked in just
I know. You see that?
You see that big suck in?
He's trying to impress Reed's sister over here.
I'm
not pulling my shirt up.
I haven't had a beer in a while.
Me either.
Yeah. So, and the other thing with the blood, finally,
I just thought of something I wasn't allowed to say. So
of course,
I kept it to myself.
If you've seen the cover of the Bloodhound Gang album, their new one, it's called Hefty Fine. There's an enormous fat guy on the cover.
Oh my God!
And
I was going to say Jabba the Hutt, but he wouldn't know who that is. But now he does.
Now I do.
It's a naked guy in a box.
Can I see it?
And
I have a stolen burnt copy, which I'm sure Bloodhound Gang would be upset
They sent me the
about.
Walmart copy. I'm listening to the Bloodhound Gang, and it's like it's like this song makes no sense because they sent me the Walmart version.
I wonder if this is somebody they know on the front.
No, I'll tell you how they found that guy. He was actually in the VIP section at Irving Plaza. This enormous man who was sitting on a seat, and his ass is like 2 asses, and they're hanging off the east side of the chair, and the chair is making noises. And they said that they sent to some casting agency, we need a really fat guy that's willing to take all his clothes off for the front of our album. And they said, he has
a full-on centerfold when you take the whole CD insert out.
That's hot.
They said that they got from this casting agency all these pictures of big fat men, but this guy sent his picture was him and another man, and he's pleasing that man. And that was his shot. And Lupus told me that Jimmy Pop saw it. He goes, "That's our guy."
He just wanted it more than the other fat guy.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's evidently the big fat guy's got a family, and he just decided a couple years ago that he's gay. He's got grandchildren. He suddenly decides he's gay.
That's more than you think.
That's years and years of denial.
So is this guy going to come out to all the shows and do autograph signings?
He was at the stage. He was backstage a little bit. He was complaining that he wasn't getting the treatment he deserved, which I guess since there was no food on the rider, he was a little upset.
Well, if he plans to be gay, you better hit the gym a little, because...
What do you mean? You don't plan to be gay, do you?
Well, if he's going to live that lifestyle, I'm saying if he's going to embrace it.
They all got to look like Chelsea boys?
You got to be buff, boy.
There's fat guys.
You can't be that fat. You can't be centerfold in a box fat.
Just like there's guys that like fat girls, there's got to be guys that like fat guys.
There could be.
I see there's a song called Pennsylvania. I'm looking for
we're going to be playing
my name in here or something. I mean, because when you think of Pennsylvania, who do you think of, right?
Coming up on the show, we've got Reed interviewing a redneck, David Lee Roth interviews. Oh, Cousin Ed's got an interview from, who was it, Audio Slave?
Yeah, me and the bass player backstage. It's pretty good.
3 questions.
What What's that?
Did you get your 3 questions in?
Yeah, 3 questions in and out. Not anymore. We're free FM.
Right.
Free to talk as long as I want. No, not you. Everybody else.
You have to travel all the way up here to talk.
Yeah.
I
actually lose money to do this show now that I think about it.
You're looking at a whole room of people that lose money to do this stupid show.
Right. Get in line, baby.
We also got some news this week from K-Rock about our ratings. I will go into that later on.
Yeah, I want to talk about who's going to upgrade, too, when we get to that.
Well, who's going to upgrade what?
You know, if we all become famous.
Dude, the only person that's going to become famous is Wayne, and we just got to take 10%.
I want to know if he's going to upgrade.
To what?
You know, when guys get famous, they upgrade, just like when girls do.
You mean like I'm going to get a new wife?
Yeah.
No.
I hope not.
Or at least a mistress.
Because then I got to split half of what I'm going to make in the future.
Yeah.
He was looking at Miss December. Miss December and High Times. High Times has this thing now because one of the main people from Penthouse went to go run High Times. They have like a Miss November, Miss December, but it's hot chicks, and you have to list how many times a day you smoke. And Wayne was especially excited that this chick smokes an ounce a week.
She can keep up. So we get to the second ounce.
What turns you on more, her looks or the fact that she can smoke that much?
Well, just imagine if you could smoke, have the looks, and the pleasure.
Cake and eat it too.
Right.
But what we'll do is we'll play a little bit of Cousin Ed. I called him from Backstage at the Bloodhound Gang show, and then we'll kick one of their tunes, do some commercials, and come back with Reed, who's going to tell us about when he played doctor with his sister.
Yeah.
Cousin Ed.
Oh, my so-called friend Laslo. Dude, I just played Avenged Sevenfold, man. The first time I heard that was on your show up at K-Rock.
Did I actually play a song during my show?
Yeah, you played Avenged Sevenfold, because I was like, man, who is that? I like those guys.
Well, hey, I'm backstage at the Bloodhound Gang, and Lupus wants to say something to you.
Yeah, put him on, quick.
Hang on. Oh, my God, is this Kid Chris? Oh, this is the greatest day of my life.
Lupus, what's happening?
What's up, Cousin Ed? How you doing?
It's been a long time since you and I have chatted or down to 40 with a bologna sandwich.
We were just talking about the bologna sandwich, actually.
You did the Electric Factory last night, right?
Yeah.
Now, I didn't make it to the show because I had a gig at the Nightmares Extreme Scream Park, but I heard...
Oh, you went down to that. That's good.
That you guys were bitching out the people that were there?
Yeah, we were giving them a hard time. It was kind of a little bit of a slow crowd in Philly.
So let's yell at the people that actually did show up.
Hey, you know what? They paid money. Let's torture them. Nothing better than taking somebody's money and then being mean to them.
I also heard a cripple guy got hit with a shirt.
There was a lot of stuff flying. Actually, I got hit by a couple of shoes last night as well.
Was it Bam that hit you with the shoe? Or
no, Bam hit our bass player, Evil Jared, with the shoe.
I was telling Chris before the guys showed up here yesterday, the last time I saw you guys was actually at the Troc, and I remember Jimmy Pop up on stage with his, we'll just say for sake of radio, his thing out. And he's playing it with it the whole time, and then afterwards, like 5 minutes after the show, he's at the after party upstairs at the balcony walking in. How you doing? Everybody's walking up and shaking his hand. He comes over to me, he's like, hey Ed, how you doing? I'm like, you better go in the bathroom and wash your hand first.
I'm not touching you.
He was just amazed that I guess I was the smartest guy in the room, and I was the first guy to realize, hey, he's been playing with his, on stage all night.
Yeah, well, you were the only one to keep your wits about you after drinking. That's the big difference.
I'm a professional.
Somebody's got to be.
How's my boy Laz doing?
Not too bad.
He was very upset that I was thanked on the new CD before him, not realizing it was in alphabetical order.
He sent me the clip of that, and I was very proud to hear that one.
I'm going to let you get back at him right now. I'm working on a poll question for the website.
Okay.
And considering Doom, the video game, is now a movie, I'm worried about when Grand Theft Auto becomes a movie, what actor would play Laslo?
Oh, man, that's a good question.
Obvious answer would be Kid Rock, but he's not an actor.
Oh, yeah, I mean, come on, Jessica Simpson can act.
Kid Rock could do that double threat because he can't dance yet. 94.1 Free FM. Hey, take care of my boy because we got to do a radio show on Sunday together up there in New York.
And you take care of your new radio station there.
It's all mine. See you later.
We are Top Rock, we are Screech, we are Z Cavalry, we are Laser Remove, Tasmanian Devil Tattoos. We are Third String, we are Pop, we are Special People's Club. We are the half shirts with irreverent spring break top 10 lists.
y'all are listening to the Lazlow Show on K-Rock in New York City.
For details, restrictions apply. Travelocity, you'll never roam alone.
And there was Ed's favorite commercial.
The roaming gnome.
This is the Lazlow Show. Previous episodes are archived at lazlow.com. This week we had the pleasure of blowing our bandwidth, our old bandwidth, which was 20 gigabytes worth of downloading in 1 month. We blew it in 3 days. Yeah. So far, about 20-something thousand people have downloaded the show this month.
And all of them, oddly, in Norway.
And
we're like blowing up in Scandinavia.
We're getting a lot of California emails now.
And remember South America? We got a few of those.
South America, from a guy who says, I love the show and I love guns, and aren't you proud to be from America where there's lots of guns?
We should do a remote in Norway, dude. We could probably get laid over there. We got fans.
Yeah.
What's the age consent in Norway?
They're all men. We got an email from Hungary, and a guy sent his picture to us.
Oh, I just got a text message from Jimmy Inappropriate, who's not even here this week, and it just says Big Wayne rocks.
That's it.
By the way, we were drunk on Friday night, and he fell over a guy in a wheelchair.
That's why he's inappropriate.
Did he knock him out of the chair and have to pick him up?
And then he couldn't get back up. He just kind of laid there. Fell out of his bar stool, all the kinds of crap.
I got a party with Jimmy one day.
Jimmy,
I do it every day. He's having a Halloween party right now, so I'll be leaving in about 5 minutes.
Okay. Quickly, we'll go through the email. Coming up on the show, well, I should say what's coming up on the show. We've got Reed interviewing a redneck. We've got, for some strange reason, we have several clips featuring people from India who are taking your jobs. We also have George Bush evidently called his wife by his mom's name on television this week. Mm-hmm. And then later on, we've got Todd Hansen, the head writer of The Onion, who's going to respond to the White House about why they are harassing a satirical newspaper.
Yeah, they're trying to shut him down because what? They're using the presidential seal or something like that? Yeah.
Like,
as opposed to worried about the leak they have.
Right, I know.
And people are being convicted of treason, and they're like, hey, Onion.
Priorities, baby, priorities.
We have an email. Reed is hot, it says. Laslo, tell Reed he is so, and so, of course, has about 18 O's. And hot.
Unfortunately, that's from the fat guy on the front of the Bloodhound Gang album.
I thought it was going to be signed Meggie.
Yeah.
It says, Yoko is a very lucky old hag to have that man. I've seen him on the website, because there are pictures of Reed at the website for the show.
Yep.
And then she repeats, he is so hot. Well, actually, I don't know if it's a she, because it's just, you know how people don't sign emails? They don't even say hello anymore. They just say belt out. They just go right into talking. There's no signature. There's just like...
I do that. That's small talk. I hate small talk. I skip it.
Just about, just say, how about being cordial? Just being nice. Because it comes across as a demand.
Well, you're emailing anyway to save time, so skip all that crap.
I can't wait till you get a BlackBerry.
Yeah.
I'm never getting a BlackBerry.
Why do you text message in all caps? You're like when an old woman first gets on email, or like your parents first get on email and they start typing in all capital letters, and you have to have that conversation with them like, Mom, you're yelling.
Stop shouting.
I'll tell you what, because it's an extra button on my phone. You have to switch it to it and take it off all caps, and I'm saving time. And don't text me with questions that don't deserve anything more than a yes or no answer, because you're getting a Y or an N, and that's it.
Wow.
In capitals.
You know who just discovered text messaging? Yeah. Wayne?
Yes.
Wayne.
Last had to teach me what the T9 was, and I love it.
I hate the T9.
Because I can't spell for nothing.
It starts every word off spelled wrong. It's not the word. It's never the word I want.
When you master T9, see, somebody's T9 to me right here.
Somebody should T9 me right now the score of the Eagles game, because I work for the team over here doing this show for free.
Who's messaging you?
I don't know.
Well, answer it.
No, it's actually just a call.
Oh.
We'll party and hold the show while you answer the call.
No, that's fine.
We have stuff to talk about.
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah.
So Wayne discovers text messaging and sends all these messages. Then he calls me because he knows that I've got the dirt on all the government conspiracy theories and everything.
Oh,
he goes,
read it.
Who's reading these, by the way? I'm like, what are you doing? Selling uranium to Niger? What are you doing?
Started text messaging other guys that I'm home when I really belong at work.
Have you seen that new BMW commercial where the guy he's like singing along like to some like children's jingle in his car, and all of a sudden his phone rings and he picks up and goes, "Hi, this is so and so." I don't even know if it's BMW. They're like, "It's time to come in for your 3,000."
Yes, I have. Yes.
And he goes, "What else?" He goes, "How do you know?" He goes, "Your car told me." He goes, "What else has it told you?" And he's wondering who's listening to his car, and eventually they're going to be able to do that. Tune into your car and hear you doing drug deals.
Well, you know, I mean, we talked about this before, that a lot of people are scared of OnStar because the FBI was going to the OnStar headquarters and they were basically, you can just dial into somebody's car and they won't even know it, and they can hear the entire conversation that's going on in your car.
Yeah, and some parents, are installing like hidden GPS monitor in the engine.
People
of their
email me about that all the time because they hear, like my tech minute that's on XM and a bunch of other stations, and they say, I want to track my kid. It's like, dude, or the mobile phones. They've got mobile phones you can give your kids now, and you can be at work and log on, and mom will see a little moving blip on a map and know exactly where you are.
I'm getting a Vespa.
So. What?
What did that mean?
So they can't track me down. I know Vespa with OnStar, right?
No, there's not. There's also no heterosexual man on a Vespa.
Oh, that was mean.
Except James Gandolfini.
Right.
Does he have a Vespa?
Yeah. See, much respect. That's right. I have my own theme music. James Gandolfini and others.
Here's James in the paper looking hip hop-ish, or that's kind of weird.
Isn't he doing the dude from Stevie Ray Vaughan or whatever?
Stephen Van Zandt.
Zandt, that's it.
I guess he was dressed up as him for Halloween.
Yes, it looks like that.
Are you texting me?
I don't know, dude. Somebody, you know what? People just don't understand when you're doing a radio show.
You're off limits.
That's not the time to call and talk to your homeboys.
Dude, I work for the Eagles, and every time I step out on the field, like for halftime, to do a promotion or whatever, my phone starts ringing. And my ring used to be Cypress Hills. Do you want to get high? And, you got a microphone that reaches 70,000 people in the stadium. Like, that's not good. I got to change that ring. All my friends said, this is funny. Watch. As soon as he turns the mic on, let's call him.
Could you actually hear it over the mic?
No. When they do the anthem, I pull the microphone down. I put it sort of like, down by my waist. If they called during the middle of the anthem, that would happen. That would be bad.
Well, now they know.
We're calling.
I've changed the ringers.
Oh, good.
Something stupid.
What is it now?
It's just, just a ring. I don't know.
Ringtone should be banned. I'm just tired of them.
Standard ring.
I'm tired of that, and I'm tired of the people with their chirpity chirp, chirp, chirp.
And now when you call people, you can get rid of the ring. You don't even have to have the ring. You can have outgoing music. So when I call you, it's ring, ring. It's like, the Magnificent Seven.
I'm going to hear this on the train all day.
Yeah, that was annoying today.
Oh, dude, I was ready to go shoot somebody.
When you do that on the radio, people are like looking down. Oh, man. Oh, was that me? Just keep doing that throughout the show.
It's like, and it's never anything important, They're just like some couple of homeboys having a conversation.
Where are you?
You want cheese on that?
Yeah.
I used to be on a girl's phone as booty call. Like, she didn't have my name. And she would booty call me like, hey, I just got the Brazilian, you want to come on over?
See, I'm going with Ed. That's got a show and you need somebody. I'm going with
This girl was so crazy. Like, after she came over, 2 hours later, now I'm drunk, trying to pass out. All right, everything's done. I'm going to sleep. She'd wake me up. It was like that stare. Like, she wouldn't wake you up. You could wake up because you could feel somebody staring at you. I'm like, what? I'm trying to sleep. She goes, what's our relationship?
Over.
I'm in your phone as booty call. What do you think it is, honey? Why not have this conversation? Then she tried to text me with that. Can you tell me what I'm going to text you back the answer to that? No. You get yes or no, and this time you're getting capital N.
That's why you got to get the Nextel booty call.
What's that?
Yo, bitch, get over here.
Bring your Brazilian over.
Bring that stripper friend of yours.
I remember Cousin Ed called me one time. He's like, man, I had a stripper booty call. Came over at 2 a.m. She brought a friend.
Excellent.
Like, I'm going to go pay my mortgage now. I'll see you later.
A friend of mine called me on the show earlier this week. He goes, I became a man last night. I was like, dude, you're 30. You just got laid. He goes, no. I took my first stripper home last night. She did all the tricks. We were up to like 5 a.m, oils and everything.
And
I've always said, like, every man should go with a stripper once just so they can learn how psychotic they are. Because they are all completely psychotic.
Hello.
Right.
Hi.
What are we doing over there?
He can take phone calls during the show.
Our guest is coming?
Hey, Amanda.
Wait, what's her name? Amanda Melson.
Amanda Melson?
Mm-hmm.
Melson. Wait, now that Reed's out of the room. Put his sister on the mic.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you have any tattoos? Go out of the
Go get the gas.
Yeah, go get with the guest. So
it's now
when
10
you and
minutes
Reed
alone
were
with
playing
Meggie.
doctor.
We got any lap dances going on over here?
Do you have a skin cancer problem too?
No.
You don't? Why is he so honky?
I don't know. You asked him that the other day, too, and I didn't even know what you meant by that.
You met his sister the other day, huh?
No.
No, he was on the phone.
Oh, okay.
I was on the phone.
Why has he worked so hard to keep us separated from you?
His family's got major... Dude, there's like 800 brothers and sisters.
We're a weird one.
You ever seen like...
This one's hot, though.
I know.
He's
I know.
smoking it. I won't expect you to be Reed's sister.
Yeah, honestly. I expected some troll to come in here.
We're having dinner, and he's like, yeah, my sister's coming up to the show. The first thing out of our mouths was, is she hot?
Yes.
I'm sure he was not happy about that whatsoever.
I sat next to Reed for like 2 years. Our cubicles were next to each other at the ad agency. And I always wondered this, and I really never got to talk to a member of his family that wasn't like up on the stage at Caroline's, because your whole family's into comedy or whatever. Were your parents worried about his sort of sounding gay? Like he's kind of got a lisp.
No, because we already have a gay sister, so I think they were more focused on
that. Whoa! All right, I'm writing that down.
What's her name?
No, don't make fun of her. She's wonderful.
She can't hear us.
She sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
So does her. Does she have a friend that's wonderful too?
No. Actually, she's currently dating the ex-girlfriend of her old ex-girlfriend.
Wow.
There
are some wacky things that happened down there.
Did those three ever have a threesome together?
No, they didn't.
But lesbians do have threesomes too, right?
I mean, lesbians probably have the same thing that heterosexuals have.
No, I've got a penis.
Well, a strap one.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not the same.
Kind of a penis.
Can I write my phone number on your hand so when he gets back he gets really upset?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you can add it on. List.
Hold on a second.
Now, for the show and Ed's girl, this is not really happening.
Yeah, Lauren, I'm writing the wrong number, okay?
What? Dude, here, do you want a permanent marker? Dude, put your brand real. Yeah.
I am really writing the right number just in case Reed wants to look at it. Oh, then just in case she wants to
She
call.
is in your age range. How old are you again?
20.
Okay, see?
That's right up there.
That's great.
Perfect.
You're trading up.
Trading up. I told you we become famous. We're all trading up, man.
Wayne was saying that Cousin Ed met his girlfriend outside of Wawa.
I thought we were going to stop these jokes once we started recording.
Oh.
You know when he starts off with Wayne said, Wayne
really
didn't
him.
say.
Right. It's actually Laszlo said, and then...
I'll write this down and say Reed said this.
Okay, so Reed should be up here any second. I need more dirt.
Okay.
When do you ever catch Reed having sex in the house?
No, never have.
How about with himself?
No, never have that either.
You ever find his nudie magazines?
No, never have.
Did you ever find... Dude, his nudie magazines
She's good. She fires back in.
His nudie magazines have Star Wars characters in them. He's a comic book nerd.
That's so true. Or like gadgets.
Okay, tell me what posters
Or
did Reed...
cereal.
Cereal?
Did you ever catch him with his pants down looking at a Princess Leia poster?
No.
What? Tell me the posters he had in his room.
I don't think he's really kind of metro at home. Like he's all like IKEA'd out.
That explains the Vespa.
He really has like everything around IKEA. He has those like weird bamboo plants. I don't really know.
Have you ever seen him naked?
No.
Can we see you naked?
No.
About topless.
Topless.
No. Neither.
Any piercings? Do you have any piercings?
Obviously.
I see that one.
Try talking. You got to talk in the mic. You can't look at Ed. It'll probably save your sanity.
Sorry.
as well.
It's driving me crazy.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My nose is pierced. My ears is pierced, and that's it. And only one hole in my ear.
Tattoos?
No tattoos yet.
Yeah, your family seems to have issues with tattoos, because I told Reed that, it's time to
man up
a little bit. If you're going to ride a scooter, you got to at least have a couple of tats.
Like a Harley tat?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I can't see Reed in a tattoo. Do you? Do you see Reed in a tattoo?
He can seem like the guy to have a little one on his backside to impress some girl.
Really?
With a little cute Mickey Mouse or something.
Smiley face, have a nice day on his ass cheek.
Right, exactly.
He's what's great is the speaker in the green room is broken, so he can't hear a word we're saying.
I could shove a doorstop here so he can't even get back in.
Oh, that would be genius.
You ever do that in college? You penny lock people in their room?
You should just stand up against that. We tell him to put her clothes back on before he comes in.
First
just see his reaction.
You're asking, did you ever do that in college? You're obviously looking at me because somebody didn't make it through high school.
I made it to the 10th grade. And I still attended school. I just didn't graduate.
You still attended school? You
went to school to get high. Cut out with your friends and...
What time? What hour did you cut out?
Why did you even have to go to school to get high, though? Why didn't you just...
You hooked up with your friends at school, and then, you went to homeroom to, mimic that you were going to go to school, but then you walked out.
I got high on average 4 or 5 times a day in high school.
Yeah, me too.
And I was on the honor roll.
And that was before 3 o'clock. No, I wasn't on the honor roll.
I took honor classes on the honor rolls. The parents were like, well, I guess we just let him do what he's doing. if you can get the cops to stop bringing you home, that'd be nice, though.
Oh, you had cops bring you home?
Oh, yeah, 4 in the morning. Here's your kids. Now, I'm going to tell you that story. Like the cops pick me up and they take me down, and I'm in the jail cell, and there's a whole other story that goes along with it before that.
That involves a large man, and then you walking funny.
But they couldn't find my wallet. I kept saying I don't have it because I was hoping to I'd get out of it, without my parents finding out somehow. They're like, take your shoes off before you get in the cell, and all of a sudden I see a pot seed rolling around the shoes. I kick the shoes, so he didn't see that. Finally finds my ID. He's like, all right, we got his ID. Let's call his house. They call my house. My brother answers the phone. And they're like, Charles County Police Department. And my brother, hangs up the phone because he thinks he's in trouble. Because he was out drinking, too. And he's like, oh, my God. And, the cop's like, I don't know what happened there. And I don't find this out till the next day. He calls again. Charles County Police Department. My brother hangs up the phone again. Calls for the 3rd time. The phone's off the hook. My brother just took the phone off the parents. The cops took me to my parents' house. 4 a.m. now. Knock, knock, knock. My dad kicked me across the room that night. So
my dad did the same thing.
And I had to get up early and go back to the establishment where they arrested me and apologize to the owner 8 o'clock in the morning for mooning everybody.
I thought you were going to say and pay the tab.
So I have indecent exposure on my records.
I love it. This is the Lazlow Show. Coming up on the show, we have Amanda Melson, comedian. We also have the head writer from The Onion, Todd Hansen, plus interviews, Reed talking to a drunk redneck who sounds like he's going to beat his ass, a kid on Xbox Live. Speaking of kids... when you hear this audio, the way that kids talk to their parents now, because it's not PC to beat your children anymore.
So you say whatever you want.
Kids are just saying they're cursing at their parents.
When I was younger, my mom was hitting me or something. I started.
My mom was beating me with a lampshade.
Just like the normal smack around. So I started screaming, child abuse. She's like, I'll show you child. That's the worst thing to ever yell.
Yeah.
Because then I really got hit. She's like, I'll show you child abuse.
Well, suddenly you were raised by a black woman.
All my impersonations are the same.
This is the Lazlow Show. 923 K-Rock's Lazlow Show. Real quick, Reed got locked out of the building, so he has no idea what we were talking about with his sister. So when he comes back in...
He can't hear us right now either.
No, he can't. So we're gonna pretend like you told us something really groundbreaking.
Well, she did.
She did.
What do you mean, pretend?
Well, okay.
The one sister?
That's
true.
Does he know about it?
Oh, yeah, he knows. But my parents don't know that he knows, nor do they don't know that my other brother knows. It's so weird.
Do your parents know that your one sister is gay, though?
Yes, but they don't know that she's told. They actually made her sign a contract saying she wouldn't even tell me.
Sign a
we were
contract?
living in the same house.
What are you?
They're lawyers.
You're allowed to be gay, but you can't tell your brothers and sisters that you're gay.
And she came out after she came back from the summer camp. And so, check it out. I know.
That is awesome.
Well, I went to go work at that same summer camp, and they made me sign a contract saying I wasn't going to turn gay.
Did you notice?
Thanks to the paper. If I was going to turn gay, this paper's stopping me.
Did you notice that nobody at that summer camp shaved their legs, and there was a lot of Indigo girls played at 8 in the morning?
I'm kind of curious.
Not true.
Was it Camp Lick-a-Lot?
What would have happened if you came back and you were gay? What would the contract?
I know. You signed this contract, Meggie. I don't know.
So you breach your contract. What would you have to pay your parents?
I don't know if there was money involved.
How many pages was this contract?
Just a page.
If my parents gave me a contract, I would set it on fire in front of them.
That's not true.
Okay, maybe.
If they were that worried that your older sister came back from that camp gay, why did they even allow you to go to that camp?
Exactly.
Because I just was going to go, and I'm very independent-minded. They knew that I was just going to do it. So I guess they just wanted to think that they were going to... Come on now. Good Lord. They just thought they would put some authority into it.
Did you just make a do-it joke?
Oh,
yes.
Are you in
back
third
in
grade?
middle school?
No kidding.
Well, there goes the Herman Hesse point I scored earlier.
Wow. So we're learning a lot. See, because Reed will not talk at all about anything. He holds back. And, he wants Wayne to bring everything to the table. Wayne's got tapes that we'll talk about a little bit later.
Oh, I've heard of those.
And...
Nicely done.
I'm
just kidding.
Come back in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Come back in 2 weeks if you want to see.
I'm going to be interested in hearing what that guy says about you.
Yeah.
Aren't you a little interested? Or a little nervous? Ooh.
It's a lot of things. It's some pressure. Yeah, nervous. Sure, whatever.
We'll get to that in a little later. We've got a porn producer who says he will watch Wayne's tape of him
here.
Here.
Do I have to look?
No.
I've come to terms. I want everyone to look because.
Are there scenes where I can see her naked and not you?
Oh yes. Sure.
Okay.
I was the cameraman.
Oh, I thought you were actually in it.
Oh, I'm in it too.
Evidently he hosted like Howard Cosell.
Yeah.
He wrote, directed, and started.
Right. And evidently the sex goes so well, it's like that skier that comes down the, remember that wide world of sports?
The sex was good. That part is good.
So, but we'll talk more about that because we have to have Reed in the room for that because there's a whole thing this week. There's a lot of things have happened this week. Tuesday, people getting blown out of this radio station.
Except for?
And people calling saying, how come you can talk? And there's a little animosity. It's just a whole scene, but, anyway, this is the Lazlow Show, episode 16. All episodes are archived at the website lazlow.com. You can see Wayne, who has a dreadlocked beard down to his waist, who I was having sushi with last night, and his girl points out, she goes, look at the sushi tray. You know how they have those huge trays they bring out that have we're like 10, 15 rolls?
It's like the boat. You ever
the big boat. Right there in the middle of the boat, like a sea monster, is one of his dreadlocks across the boat of sushi.
In the soy sauce.
Fortunately enough, I was done. But you did pick off my plate.
I did pick off his plate, right next to those dreadlocks.
I don't know what's worse, sea urchin or what your beard would taste like.
That beard has been in the bowl.
Everywhere. It's been everywhere.
Everywhere?
Yeah.
You ever smoke some of it?
I'm sure at some point it's been lit on fire, yes.
So the big announcement this week was David Lee Roth is coming to do mornings at this station, and Cousin Ed you've actually talked to David Lee Roth a few times.
Yes. That's how I started to notice he has, like we all do, I'm sure, a few catchphrases, crutches, if you will.
My crutches so far are Reed Scooter, your girlfriend.
Yep.
And there's got to be another one.
I don't know. That's
Wayne smokes weed.
That's not a crutch, though. That's a fact of life.
Well, they're all facts. All the crutches are facts.
Wait. So how long did Reed live with this gay sister?
He never. I mean, in the same household.
Yeah, in the same household. Because you've had like multiple mothers, or what's happened in that family?
No. Okay, he has a mom, and then my mom raised him like age 8 on, and then they had us.
What, was he left at a truck stop or something?
No. My dad just got custody of both of them.
All right.
So, and then
Reed
that kind of happened.
Reed's going to hate.
He's sorry. He asked you to come in.
I know.
So hold on. I got to write some of this down. He's been living with you and your mom since he's 8 years old.
Well, yeah, and my sister. But I didn't really
Prior
come
to
along.
that, where did he live?
He was
Foster?
like really early on, like late in high school when I was even just kind of around. So we're 12 years different, So he was kind of up and out of there by the time I was really even a toddler, kind of.
And at what point were people certain of his sexuality? I mean, when was his first girlfriend? Anybody can remember?
They're still not certain.
We're still not certain. That's kidding.
Did he have to sign contracts?
He was the kind of guy who
Did he have to sign a contract?
No contract.
See, that's why he turned out okay. He went to the all-girl camp.
Yes.
As opposed to Camp Meatball across the street.
He does some pretty sweet prom pictures, and he was always taking like his quote-unquote best girlfriend. So he never really was like the ladies' man until recently, apparently, with that email. Who knows?
Yeah, he does have fans. So you're saying you sent me this call this week because it's David Lee Roth saying that he would never do radio?
He did. This is like back when, remember when Britney Spears and Fred Durst were apparently doing it? So
yeah.
I don't remember what year that was, but this is how old this interview is. And he just finished doing, I think, like he filled in for afternoons or something here at K-Rock in New York. And then I talked to him like 2 days after. So I started talking about his radio show. And he pretty much says in the interview that radio would be hard. It's not what he does. It's not like EMTing.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, does he really EMT?
Yeah, here in New York. And he doesn't brag about it. Apparently, when he did it, he wouldn't tell anybody, like, what district he works in.
Dude, if I'd still delivered pizzas, I wouldn't tell anybody.
Yeah, you're right. Imagine doing CPR and you come back like, hey, dude, can I get your autograph?
I love Rob Cross who, at K-Rock here says, what does that got to be like when you pass out in a club or you hit your head or you wake up and there's David Lee Roth and assless chaps, giving you CPR.
I think I was dead. I ended up in gay heaven.
Reed's sister. Oh, hey.
Hey, Reed.
Reed's here. All right. So, Reed, I would
Reed,
like to...
you're sorry you brought your sister in.
He can't wait to listen to this on Lazlow.com.
He doesn't listen to the shows that like when you were in North Carolina. I said, dude, listen to last week's show. We had an incredible show last week. It's archived at the website. There's people around the world downloading it, and the producer of the show won't even listen to it.
He does not look happy right now.
Talking to the mic, dude.
I have nothing to say.
Yeah, well, now you don't.
We have some questions, though, you have to answer.
We got a contract for you to sign over here.
Look at that plug. Dude, tell me a little bit more about...
Come on around, Reed.
Come on around to this
over
mic.
here. Tell us about summer camp.
Yeah, tell us about Camp Lick-a-Lot.
See, that's the thing. When you're on this show, it's like I've learned to sort of clam up about anything about my family because I don't want these guys using it as material for the show. But now I bring my sister in, and the floodgates open in like 5 minutes. Yeah, thanks.
5 minutes? Dude, you weren't even down the hall, bro.
We're going to fly the whole family up here next week.
Hold on a second. You want all the dirt in my life, and you're not going to give us any dirt?
No, I'll give you dirt. I don't want the dirt in your life. The dirt that in your life you brought up yourself. These are the...
This is what the show's about. Everyday common guys' lives. You're a common guy. You got a life.
Right.
So, did you sign the contract?
I don't know about that. I've got a life.
I didn't sign the contract.
Okay.
But hey, everyone, we have a guest.
Okay.
Good producer.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Look, a guest, and it's our first female guest. It's my sister.
Amanda?
So honored.
Yes, well, you've kind of walked into a train wreck of a show.
She knew that from the beginning.
Right.
Amanda, did you ever have summer camp? Did you ever go to summer camp?
I did. I went to church camp.
Do you shave your legs?
What does that have to do with camp?
Oh, there's a special camp we first found out.
Yeah.
Did you, wait,
what's the name of that camp?
Camp Lick-a-Lot.
Any experimentation go on at church camp?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, are you kidding me?
Hey, church camp is where I had some of my first action.
See, because people send their kids to church camp and they come out the exact opposite.
That's the first place I learned to dip Copenhagen. And you skip chapel, and then you go, hang out with the other church girls and see what you can get done.
I'm going to send my kid to, like, devil camp. He'll come out a little angel.
What, does it be like one of those rock and roll camps? Like Ozzy will be there?
Yeah, and he'll come out like a straight A haircut, all nice and neat, military, end up the president.
So Reed says you work on some TV show?
I do. I'm a writer for Friday Night with Greg Giraldo.
And that's not like Geraldo.
Not like Geraldo at all, but he does love it whenever people make that connection.
Wasn't he that comedian that was on... he did the very first roasting for the Pam Anderson thing, am I right?
Yeah, he was great.
He was very good on that.
Oh, he was on there was a roast for Pam Anderson?
Yeah, and they brought out, they said, we're going to bring out some guy that nobody knows, and this guy came out and just killed.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. So you're a writer...
He's good, yeah. He's funny. He's like not a hack at all.
He's great. And now he's the guy that nobody knows that has a show on Friday night.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't watch television or go to the movies, so...
Laslo is a shut-in.
No, I'm watching Rome, and dude, that show has got mad booty.
I couldn't get into that. Try to watch the first one, I was yawning.
Dude, the troops will be going along the road, and all of a sudden they'll see like a herder girl and her sheep. They'll go bang the girl. If you're a Roman soldier, you can bang everybody in that whole place.
I've got to give that a second try.
It is unbelievable. I'm telling you.
Is there a lot of helmet in that?
Actually, episodes...
Roman soldiers.
I kept telling my girl, I'm like, dude, you got to see this show. It's like booty, and like, it's not just normal booty that you sort of see on HBO sometimes. It's like people walking into the room head to toe, buck naked. And I'm like, you got to see this. It's amazing. And so the only episode that she sort of like catches a little bit of, all naked guys.
So she loves it?
No.
That's kind of how I like to picture Rome.
Do you?
Just mostly naked dudes.
Apparently that's how Rome was.
I know.
Bunch of naked guys rolling around.
That's why it wasn't built in a day.
Right.
You're having too much fun at camp.
That's what we should have, gladiator camp. That's great. I love it. We were going to play this David Lee Roth thing. Should we do that?
Do it. I don't care.
We have so much to get to, and we are wicked behind. David Lee Roth called into Couzin Ed's show recently, said he could not do...
And keep in mind, he'll be doing mornings here come January.
Hey, this is David Lee. Who am I talking to?
Couzin Ed.
Wow, I tried to do your gig for a few days, and I have a renewed respect for you. Jeez.
The whole waking up early part, or?
Oh, my God. And to be like freestyling and freeform?
You actually did my job up at K-Rock in New York. You filled in?
No. I actually pretended to do your job.
Oh.
There's a difference. See, I only had to do it like for a few days.
See, every time you call into my show, it's like me and you are like battling for airtime. Shut up, my turn.
That's why we're both somewhat well-known faces, maybe, huh?
He does talk fast, doesn't he?
Yes. Which it's I don't know. In the morning, you're just waking up. Your brain isn't working that fast yet.
I don't know. There's a lot of mornings.
Mine's not.
Well,
still asleep.
Yeah, but look at what you're doing all night.
You know, but people have a slow start to their morning.
Right.
He
well,
goes
dude, you know, when you wake up, and like every 2 or 3 hours she's crying, you got to go to the crib. You know, I'm sure you don't get a lot of sleep.
All right, there's a crutch.
Somewhat well-known faces, maybe, huh?
Damn it, I should just have him interview me as much as he talks.
It's an idea that people listen high-speed, low-drag. It's without visual, without screens, without, like, you know, on a lot of stage, and I'm not going to name names, but how many of our little girlfriends are going up on stage these days and doing much ado about clothing?
What's he talking about?
Maybe that's why people listen, dude.
See, this is, 7 o'clock at night. He's already lost me.
What does he just say? Skiddly bop?
Our little girlfriends are going up on stage these days and doing much ado about clothing. You don't have to actually make any sound during a show like that.
Hey, I watched Britney and Christina Aguilera on mute, man.
Oh, man! Your Honor, he's jumping ahead. He's making conceptual leaps to names that I have neither.
I'm allowed. I think he has Tourette's.
He does sound like he has Tourette's.
He just lost it there.
I'm just a gigolo.
I'm allowed to. Maybe you're not. Hey, Dave, would you consider yourself the white James Brown of rock?
I would consider myself the Black Robert Plant.
I heard a knife-wielding man scaled like your wall and was going to rob you.
I almost killed the pool guy the other day by accident. I'm a little jumpy.
With a shotgun?
No, this guy came over the wall, and it's about a 15-foot wall. At first, you stop and listen for, okay, is it high...
I would love to see what his pool looks like. Does he, like, run around in that white tuxedo with the cane, just, like, bouncing around the pool?
His pool's probably shaped like that thing you see on the back of the 18-wheeler mud flaps, that girl.
Oh, yeah, the silhouette of the girl in silver. I'm down with it.
It's about a 15-foot wall. At first, you stop and listen for, okay, is it high school folks coming over the wall full of beer from Moose McGillicuddy's and they're going to swim in the pool while Roth's on tour, like I would have in junior high. And sometimes you get some other kind of crazy characters. I had some guy try to kidnap my pop with a pistol once. So this guy goes really quiet.
Who is doing, like, home invasion to David Lee Roth's father? He's like, I'm going to drive you right back over to Van Halen, and you guys are getting back together.
Well, he's trying to get to the point where it's a true story, where somebody tried to rob his house, and he pulled a shotgun out, and he held him there until the cops showed up.
The key phrase being, he's trying to get to the point.
Yeah. Pistol once. So this guy goes really quiet. And maybe 200 meters up until in front of the house, and he comes around the corner, and the beauty of a shotgun is you never have to actually point it at anyone. If you rack that thing as hard and loud as you can, then in 82 languages it says, what are you doing here? And I had him lie down in the sprinkler system and called the cops, and of course they came and took him away. And now I'm being accused by some of being insensitive to this individual, and everything. I understand now that was actually low-fat crank in his pocket.
Crank?
Low-fat crank. Right. I don't know what that is.
I know, dude. I can't wait for 4 hours of that. I'm listening every day.
Low-fat crank in his pocket.
Is it true? I was reading somewhere yesterday that your grandmother actually gave you that nickname Diamond, or the Diamond part of Dave?
No, not my grandmother. It actually comes from, when I was going to, before even junior high school. And product of integrational busing. They didn't start it in the...
How does integrational busing have anything to do with a crazy, dopey nickname?
It's sort of a tribute for Rosa Parks, though, for this week. So it's kind of nice we got that into the show.
Right, he's doing his video next to Rosa Parks on the bus.
Going to, before even junior high school. And product of integrational busing. They didn't start it in the Deep South like you might have thought or whatever. They started here in Pasadena, California. And I went to schools that were all black and Spanish-speaking. So I come by it all naturally. ¿Se habla español?
Do you really think Fred Durst banged?
He never answered the Diamond Dave thing. He said he went to school with a bunch of
Is integrational a word?
Ask Wayne. He's our king of...
It's a stoner word, without a doubt.
What are we asking him for? He has to use T9 to spell words.
Those are the 5-letter words.
Do you really think Fred Durst banged Britney Spears?
My guess is that she wouldn't let him. And so, he peeled off like a bumper sticker and went elsewhere.
See, that's what I'm thinking, because if I banged her, and she said that me and her never had relations and it never happened, I could care less because I slept with Britney Spears. Even once. Hey, use me and abuse me, honey. I don't care.
That little booty, if you threw it up in the sky, would burst into sunlight.
You know that this is an old tape because that booty ain't little no more.
Her boobs are bigger, though, which is nice.
Great, but it's like something out of a Clockwork Orange.
Threw it up in the sky, would burst into sunlight. So I understand the ambition.
Dave, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to pretend that you're my friend.
So did you put that on? Did you get him to do a home answering machine message?
Yeah, actually I did. I don't have it with me.
That's Ed's thing, is every star that he meets has to do an answering machine message for him.
You still have an answering machine?
Snoop Dogg, yeah. Well, yeah, I put on the voicemail, whatever you called it. Ed can't come to the fizzle, so leave a mizzle after the bizzle. Biatch. We're smoking.
But you said that Snoop actually offered and you didn't.
What do you mean?
Well, he offered to smoke with you, but you said, I'm working.
Yeah, you turned it down to smoke.
I'm a professional. I told him I'd smoke with him after the interview, and then what happened was the blunt starts coming around the room, and him and all his pals are there, but when the blunt, he'll light it, and he'll pass it around, but if it gets back around to him, he doesn't pass it again. It makes one rotation, and then he's sitting there smoking, and I'm
a firm believer of no rotating, self touches.
That's Jamaican style. You don't pass. You just
germophobic.
buff.
So I'm asking him questions left and right. I see the roach getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So I'm dropping questions like, all right, interview over, and he puts it out. I'm like, damn it, during my one chance. And my boss was like, I'm proud of you that you didn't get high with Snoop because I was in the room. Like, it had nothing to do with you, dude. I just wanted my head, you probably talked to Snoop once. I wanted my head, 100%.
Well, dude, you don't have to really put too many words together to interview Snoop.
I'm a professional.
Do you?
I want it to be good. Wait, listen to the last thing David says.
Oh, there's more? Dude, okay.
I think he makes one more quote about how he can't do radio.
Again.
My man, be well, have a great day.
Hey, I need June 25th off. Can you fill in for me?
See, that's the trick. I can't do what you do. I can simulate it for up to 3 days, but, I'll keep the rain check in mind, and I'd love to. Hey, some people want to sit in the back of a fire truck one time in their life. Some people want to fly in a jet. I want to be the guy who goes, it's 7 o'clock. Let's go to the traffic girl. Britney Spears. I'm sorry. Did I say the wrong thing?
That will be him. It's 7 o'clock. Let's go to the traffic girl.
Now we'll say it's 7 a.m. Bum skilly bop. Let's go to the traffic girl.
Oh no, were you not supposed to play that tape? Did you just commit career homicide?
My career homicide hit a long time ago.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah, he almost got fired on Tuesday, Cousin Ed did. Because all the Infinity stations are going talk. So, and he was doing 2 to 5 at our sister station, WISP.
I've done 8 shifts there. I counted them all. I'm like Cousin Beach Ball down there, man.
You've done afternoons, you've done nights.
Nights, afternoons, and then I went back to nights. Then I did middays. Then I did middays and afternoons at the same time, and now I'm back to afternoons.
I love it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, David Lee Roth will be okay because before this, wasn't he driving an ambulance?
Yeah,
yes.
EMT
yeah,
we
were just talking about that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Please, it's probably good.
I'm just an avid, David Lee Roth follower.
Are you?
So you're gonna listen?
Sure.
So what else have you? Other shows you've worked on besides? What is it? Help read.
Friday Night with Craig Jerome.
Okay.
Help read. Where are the cards, man? Where are the cards? You read off like Carson Daly. I just want to read off a cue card.
Any other shows?
No, I've just been a stand-up comic and have had a series of other jobs.
Really?
Less exciting jobs.
Rare.
Well, that sounds interesting.
That sounds. Did you wear your camp counselor?
Camp counselor.
No.
Didn't you work for a cab company or something? Didn't you sell
did.
those ads on top of a cab or something?
Did when you see sports scores on top of a cab? I worked for the company that put those ads on top of the cars.
Could you type something in at the main office and it would appear on all the cabs?
I could, and
like
I never
suck?
got to use that for evil. But I wanted to. I did want to.
See, if I broke up with my girlfriend or something and I worked at a place like that, I'd be blasting her name across all those, Megan is a hoe or whatever.
And you could put pictures up, too. You could have a picture of her, and you could make it so, since they all have GPS units in them, you could make it so
it gets by her house.
All of the cabs that went past her house said, it's over, you're a hoe,
Find some of your little computer buddies. Let's hack into that.
Oh, it can be done. What's the frequency that those go over? Do you know?
I don't know.
Is it encrypted?
Probably. Sure it is.
I know people. I know hackers.
Yeah. And there was a time where we had, New York Times job postings on there, and it would say, a job just opened up at this company. And I always wondered if somebody was at their job what?
Oh, yeah, it's driving by
getting in that cab. I was going to go to work, but not now.
Well, that's how a lot of people here found out they didn't have jobs on the radio. They was listening to Stern.
There have been times that I've been fired in the past that I found out from interns.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. It's like, oh, no, secret. We have a wall. We have this vault of secrecy. Nobody knows. But the interns know? How do the interns know and I don't? That's disrespectful.
Well, yeah. The interns always know everything because they're little busybodies.
Tell me about this with comedians, because when they said a comedian was going to be on the show, I automatically thought man.
Ooh.
Wow.
It wasn't a comedian at first for when.
Yeah, wasn't there a term?
I like to just be called a funny lady.
I guess what I'm trying to say, stereotypically, when you hear the word comedian, most people think a man, because
I like to be called Madam Funny Pants.
It's a man's business, though, isn't it? In general.
I'd say it's not a man's business. There are tons of female comics up until the point where they have to start paying you. That's when all the women drop out. You go to most comedy shows that are free, and there are tons of women, but you go to a comedy club and there are fewer. So it's just that getting paid part that we're working on.
Right, and wasn't there the problem with when comedy got really big in the 80s, there were just a lot of, hack female comics who were ladies, are you with me here?
Oh, yeah.
Men, and so...
I think there were
but
just
now
as many hack male comics.
Definitely. But people have that bad stereotype about it. But there's some cool, especially in New York, right? Some very alternative, cool female comics.
There are tons. And, there's some more famous ones, like Maria Bamford and Laurie Kilmartin, and, there are tons. But you see one set of really unfunny shoulder pads, and it ruins you forever.
Shoulder pads.
I remember Pauly Shore was doing that ridiculous show, the Comedy Store.
Yeah, because his mom owns a place, right?
Yeah, and the only trailer I saw, I never watched the show, was he was going to get a whole bunch of female comics, and when they were up on stage, he only picked the ones that look hot. He goes, okay, you're funny, and the other people that are judges, they're not funny. They weren't funny at all.
I know. That's terrible, because hot will only get you so far, I think, on stage.
Real far.
Very far.
See how far we got with Meggie when he was out of the room.
Reed, I quit.
You get a chance, Reed, you go over and look at the telephone number on her arm.
Yeah, she got another telephone number on her arm. Look.
Oh, is that Big Wayne's number?
No.
Ed?
Yeah, man.
Ed does like him young.
She asked for it,
Yeah.
But
I tell you,
sister?
as soon as you graduate college or B turn 21, he'll just drop you, baby. He don't want to have anything else to do with you.
I like it when they don't really understand alcohol and how it affects them yet.
What are you talking about?
They get them young. They're not used to getting drunk yet. Once they get seasoned, they're 25. They can handle the alcohol. They build up a tolerance.
You are such a piece of garbage. You're gonna die an old cranky man doing overnights in Syracuse.
Yeah, but I've had 38 years of heaven, so I don't really care, man.
38?
Yeah, well.
Your birthday was recently then, because you'll never tell your birthday.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Wait, that's right. You never tell your birthday.
Don't know. All you know, it's some day in the past.
He even lied on his driver's license, which is going to work because he doesn't want the people who are carding him to really know.
I thought we were talking about that kind of stuff on the show.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about.
See, Ed brings real life to the table.
Unlike Reed. Let's get into this, because we were going to bring this up with you, Amanda, because Reed says that you would be a good sounding board for this. In the 1980s, when our good sidekick here, Wayne, was robbing train cars for cereal and shoe stores, freebasing, going to Planned Parenthood twice in 1 month, there was a
low-fat crank.
Low-fat crank. There was a certain video that he shot with a girl who was living in a car. And we have talked about it on this show. People have emailed this show saying they think that it's on the internets. But it's not because Wayne's got the only tape, and so we said, well, Reed said that he could probably get a leading porn producer to take a look at the tape. It's from the 80s. Wayne was wearing tube socks with stripes on.
Tube socks with green and gold stripes.
And that's it.
Well, yeah. And there was a lot of acknowledgement to the camera from my boys. You know,
he was throwing,
hey guys, look at me.
Throwing hand signals at the camera. So we were going to actually tonight bring this. What is that thing?
It's my phone. It's probably an Eagles score.
Or the Eagles playing right now?
Denver 42, Eagles 21.
That's no good. Okay, we've done sports for the night.
Done.
Wayne's getting tips from the carpenters he's worked with. You guys got to talk more about sports.
Got to talk about football.
There, we did.
Done. So, Wayne is willing to bring the tape in, but he's going to maybe, since this famous porn producer is coming in to look at it, he wants to sort of make it current. He's going to do sort of a new, tighter edit, because right now it's 3 hours long with like intermissions to smoke.
Wow.
And
so it's going to be digitally remastered.
He's going to do
I'm going to try.
He's going to do the 20-year anniversary DVD with the commentary track.
You got to remember, it's in black and white. I'm going to colorize it too.
There's a couple of bonus scenes.
Oh, it's in black and white?
No, it's not in black and white.
So it's in color.
It's in color.
So, but he feels like Reed, who doesn't talk about his life at all on the show, should come to the table with something. What do you think?
Should come to the table with something like
about his life.
A black and white 80s porn video shot in a car.
No, but he's got a skeleton in his closet that needs to surface.
Does he have tape of the skeleton though?
That doesn't mean it doesn't. It doesn't have to have tape. He just has to bring something.
He can make something up. We don't care.
Right. Well, I wouldn't know.
Sure. Yeah. Come on, Reed.
All right, I'll make something up. But I can't say there will be a video involved.
We have your sister to check to see what really happened there.
She was telling us
she signed contracts.
By the way, Reed, she was telling us that you had Menudo posters on your wall when you were in high school.
True. No, that's not true. Come on, what kind of lies are you talking? No. Oh, no, they're too Latin for me.
It was all Laura Branigan.
That's
Admit
right.
it.
Exactly.
What did you have on your walls in high school? She said she couldn't remember. Because you guys, like, there was a new stepmom coming in every other week or something. I don't know. Your family's crazy, dude.
Look at her. You're twisting her words all around, dude.
Right.
Come on, man.
I was here for the words.
We just have a bad memory.
No, we had above my bed, I had a cross, and on the other wall, I had a picture of black Jesus.
Wait, above the bed, like when you could see it? Like it was on the ceiling?
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. We had I don't know.
You don't remember what was on your wall when you were a kid?
No, I don't know. There wasn't much on the wall. That's the thing. Wow. What did you guys have? What did you have?
I had a beer can collection.
A picture of your girlfriend when she was 2?
Dude, you know well and good she wasn't born yet.
Oh, right, that's right. Look at him.
You just had various twinkles in different guys' eyes just on the wall in poster form.
I had a Duran Duran poster, I gotta say.
But in the 80s, they were tight, you know?
Oh, Duran Duran?
Yeah.
They weren't tight. They were loose and gay.
I had Maiden, Black Sabbath. I had the black light poster of the pot leaf.
I had an InXS poster. And I was like
that's legit.
12 or 13, and I'm trying to have a crush on these old, scabby-looking Australian guys. It was really pathetic.
But the lead singer was hot for all girls, right?
He was hot.
And
yeah.
Simon and to
hot.
Laslo.
Yeah.
What?
What did you like about Duran Duran? The music, or did you dig
the church that I went to? Duran Duran was considered
acceptable.
No, not acceptable.
Really?
In fact, there was a church event where people brought their Duran Duran tapes and tore them up. I'm telling you, it's footloose as a mother.
Well, they weren't allowed to cross the county line with those.
I mean, dude, I will tell you some stories someday about the church that I went to.
So are you saying you actually rebelled against the Lord by kicking the reflex?
You were hungry like a wolf. You weren't afraid of it.
And Wayne even knows even more dirt.
I got dirt.
What do you got?
We're going to save it for other shows. We want dirt on you.
Yeah.
I'll give.
No.
So, Reed, why don't you tell us a story about when you first saw Hanson on TV?
And And your pants were off.
The lead singer of Hanson, did you think it was a girl or did you think it was a boy?
You had a crush on a boy.
All right.
I kid you not, you called the lead singer of Hanson
That's true. But
a very hot girl. And then you found out it was a boy.
And even after I found out he was a boy, I was still a little unsure. I was like, well, you know.
I will say in the right light, it could be a young boy or a young girl.
He's pretty hot, but come on, haven't we all done that? Ed?
You had not discovered the Adam's apple yet?
No, that's a one pretty boy when he was 15. Come on. Amanda, back me up here.
I can back you up.
What were the Nelson? Did you like Nelson too?
No,
the two blonde guys, the white Milli Vanilli?
No. I mean, their music sucked. Come on, Hanson has some talent at least.
They do. I love those boys.
They're evidently playing still. They're on tour right now. They're on tour.
Yeah, they're doing acoustic now.
Well, bring them in. I want to.
They can really rock, and they look like they'd hold the door open for you and go get you your paper.
Get your paper.
I think I actually put
They're
them up
so
on,
young and cute.
Yeah.
on the poll question I had of what actor should play Laslo in Grand Theft Auto the movie, and I think one of the Hanson brothers was an option you can answer.
What,
Isaac.
What poll question?
On the website, we put up a poll question.
You're a
last week.
jackass.
What?
Everybody knows that it should be Kid Rock.
I think that's just you wanting it to be.
No,
just
I get
seem
homeless
somewhat
people
cool.
screaming Kid Rock at me. It's annoying.
It's the only way I get you back when we're in some foreign country. Look, it's Kid Rock over there.
This is the Lazlow Show. Tonight, hanging out is Amanda Melson. Is that pronounced correctly?
That is.
I butcher names. Reed's sister.
How you doing?
What's your name again? What? Meggie. And kind of crazy.
Wait, you
name.
never heard of that name before?
What, Meggie?
Yeah.
Is it short for Megan?
Yeah.
There you go.
Meggie. Oh, and Reed, we found out other things about your sister. The dreadlocks are true.
Oh, no.
They were clothes on the floor when you were gone.
I'm going to get Dad on the phone. Our parents are already worried enough.
Dad?
Which dad? Right. Tell him you're in breach of contract. Coming up, we've got Todd Hanson from The Onion calling in. We've got Reed interviewing a redneck down in North Carolina. Cousin Ed did an interview this week with Audioslave.
Yes.
Backstage at the show down in Philly. Plus, we have some surprise, embarrassing audio from George Bush.
El Salvador and Paraguay. This is the one and only. Who is he? Laslo. You understand?
Pickle Park.
It's now safe to move about the cabin.
Would you like something to drink, sir?
Yeah.
Madness going on backstage here, behind the scenes.
It's like backstage at a Motley Crue concert.
Sure. Except all the chicks here are kind of square.
At least their shirts are still on. We're assuming that's the reason.
Right. This is the Lazlow Show. The website's lazlow.com. You can download past episodes there. We got our ratings in this week, and good numbers. We'll get to that in a bit.
Huge.
Yeah, it was pretty big. I was shocked. When somebody from Infinity calls you and they're actually smiling over the phone, it's a little shocking.
Especially with all the other hell that's been going on this week.
Oh, I got this great article. And, there's a lot of people that are like, I can't believe all these stations are going talk. But the reality of the situation is with iPods and satellite radio and all the other choices, people they've got their own radio stations in their pocket.
If the support's not there from the public, it can't survive as it is. So it's got to change. It's got to evolve.
And plus, when you've got so much material, you can, beat on Cousin Ed about his past life.
I got to go out and get arrested or something this week and screw up somehow so you can change the subject.
Comedian Amanda Melson.
Yes.
She's on the TV show
Friday Night with Greg Giraldo.
How long has it been on?
About 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're. This is how.
So I'm a major media player.
How do you?
What I'm saying.
How do you have any time? Because those shows are it's a ton of work.
It is, but it comes down to it. It's actually only 22 minutes of comedy or something.
It's not like having to fill 4 hours.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
You're the true heroes.
I don't know about that.
How many writers are there?
Just four
Four
including
writers,
Greg.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know, Reed's brother's successful.
I do. I know him very well.
Okay.
I mean, but Reed's great too.
Sure.
See, that's right.
And Meggie.
Did that brother have to sign a contract?
None of us had to. Only one person in this room had to sign a contract, and that is the dreadlocked, blonde-haired girl over there.
Everybody else is already in and out of that camp, gay camp, where we found out this is what the parents call it.
Well, my brother and I are a bit older, and we did not go to, quote, gay camp.
It's Camp Lick-a-Lot.
What was the name of your camp?
We went to, you know what Indian Guys is, where you dress up as Indians? It's so politically incorrect now.
That's gayer than Lick-a-Lot.
Right. Indians are fairly gay.
What? Oh, you went to one of those, like, Camp Hookah Buka or something?
Well, the YMCA used to sponsor Indian Guys. You guys didn't, were you guys shut-ins? I know Laslo is.
I would know. I was at a church camp called Golden Bell.
Oh, right. And it really, look how well it worked out for you.
Yes.
I worked for a living, so.
When you were 12?
Yes.
What did you do?
Paper route.
You had a paper route?
Yes, I had like 2 of them.
Wow.
I put myself through college, bitch.
You're like Oliver Twist over here, dude.
Yeah.
That's right.
Guess whose mommy and daddy paid for his college?
Lisa. Oh, was that directed at me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I went to a public school my whole life. They had to pay $2,000.
My parents would give me a dime.
You worked at Godfather's Pizza and carried a gun?
That's right, fool. I had a 9.
He did, actually.
I carried a 9 for a while.
I almost smoked my tuition away. If you remember that story.
Did you think it was like the Godfather's Pizza?
No.
It was like the mafia
No,
to you?
in the South, the Godfather's Pizza chain is sort of the higher. You know it? You're from Texas. You're from Texas.
San Antonio.
There was some crazy guy that was shooting up the Godfather's Pizzas in town. He would come in and he would, like, shoot the manager on duty or whatever, or graze him or wound him or whatever, and I was manager on duty. And I was like, I ain't going out for, slinging pie. So I asked TJ, who was ethnic, if he could get me a 9mm.
Did you actually ask him for a 9?
Are you saying only the ethnics had access to the guns?
Well, he told me that he knew a dude that had a gun store in Houston. So
just go up to any ethnic person and ask them for a gun.
They've all got those.
That's how it was in my neighborhood. Couldn't get one from a white guy.
Well, no, because he was one of my workers, and he was like, dude, you gonna need to be strapped. Some nigga come in here, you gotta have a buck. So I was like, dude, give me the buck. I'm all right. I've seen New Jack City. Let's go.
You got to protect the pies, man.
Seriously. I ain't going down for a stupid pizza place. So I had it, back there, tucked in my uniform.
Wow.
I was ready to go.
Into your suspenders? Is that right?
No, I did not have flair.
You didn't have flair?
No.
Wow, those Duran Duran records really messed you up, didn't they?
Oh, I also bleached my hair blonde at that time, too.
Oh.
That was, yes.
Was this the post-Michael Jackson era?
We won't go. Michael Jackson era, I'll give up the Michael Jackson story when Reed comes to the table with something embarrassing and you show your porn tape to the porn producer.
It's going to happen.
All right.
Wow. You have an embarrassing Michael Jackson story?
Yes, I do.
And you weren't called to testify or anything?
No, it was me and Macaulay Culkin. Something like that.
And the monkey.
It was a 3-way. It was a whole scene.
I can't believe you're... in Texas, it's legal, I think, to have concealed weapons.
Sure.
And so a lot of the places...
They had the signs on the tours.
They have the signs that say, please do not bring your concealed weapons here. Like outside of the TCBY, like the country's best yogurt. It's like, well, how am I supposed to get yogurt without my, sawed off that I keep in my overalls?
The TCBY wouldn't scare me. It would be the bars. Now you involve alcohol, and they've got a concealed weapon. No. I'm not drinking down in Texas.
Yeah, or Florida.
In Alaska, you have to hand your gun to the bartender, and they keep it behind the bar. And then when you're liquored up and a little bit angry and you're going home maybe to beat your old lady, they give you the gun back.
You're going to need this.
You're going to need this. She'll need a good pistol whipping when you get home.
Your wife's as big as a moose. You're going to need this.
Dude, I got to tell you, there were no small asses in Alaska. Dude, you got to put some weight on during the summer.
Yeah.
You got to put... those booties were huge.
Maybe they were just wearing flannel line jeans.
They weren't wearing flannel line. I was there in July.
But didn't you almost get killed by a bear, like on numerous occasions?
Yeah, that place is no joke, dude.
Yeah.
And I used to dip Kodiak, so I thought I was sort of in with Alaska.
You were in with the bears?
Yeah. You ever dipped, Amanda?
Dipped? No.
I think we should have a dip show. I'm thinking about bringing Copenhagen in, and everybody has to have a chew in.
I don't think I can do Copenhagen. That's like putting Ben Gay in your mouth.
Accidentally swallow it.
Oh.
I can do leaf, though, some beech nut.
Some beech nut?
Yeah.
I did
Big
that
wad.
I did that on the wrestling team, man. Lose weight.
That's what all the
Leaf
wrestlers used to dip in school. That's so weird.
Wait, how does that make you lose weight?
Because it makes
spit.
you go... What?
Oh, you're spitting out your body's water?
Yeah.
Really?
You get
I always heard it makes you want to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, it got rid of the water weight. That's why we did it.
Dude, I will never understand that sport. What a homoerotic bunch of weirdness. Two men in a circle piling, and their job is to pin another man down and say, "You're mine, bitch."
Hey, as soon as I got a full-time job at McDonald's, I could buy beer and weed. I quit. This wrestling thing's not fitting into my lifestyle. I'm sorry.
Another guy's junk rubbing on your chin.
Like, you know what? Maybe I'll get into baseball.
You know what's strange though is my nickname on the wrestling team was Smiley, which now I look back on it was not very good. What's he smiling about? Came off the mat, rubbing around with some guy.
I was reading this article about people that Infinity approached to maybe do mornings across America when Howard leaves. Here's Jon Stewart, which he does a good show, Daily Show. Geraldo Rivera, who evidently you work for.
No.
What would Geraldo's morning show be like?
Boring.
Yeah, no
Actually,
kidding.
I gotta say, he's known for dating younger women.
Dude, he's known.
He's got like a kid with
He's
a
known
20-year-old
for making
something.
me watch like a 4-hour show of him opening up a wall and there being like some dirt in a bottle. I was ready to see like dead bodies. What was that?
Now imagine the radio version of that. That would have been even better.
Or when he was do you remember when the war first started? And I'm talking about Iraq. He was there like drawing maps and like, we're right here and the enemy's right there. It's like, hey, stupid.
Like John Madden,
the enemy,
and then they're gonna bam, pop.
Thanks for giving the enemy our location, dummy. But and Danny Bonaducci, who evidently has got that show.
He's a mess.
I love that show. It's like watching a train wreck. It's awesome.
Have you seen it, Amanda?
I've seen parts of it. I don't imagine he's real chipper in the mornings.
He's never chipper at all. He's a wreck.
He's got the roid rage, though, doesn't he? Doesn't he say he's like shot steroids on that show or something?
He shot it on the show.
Yeah, shot it on the show. Then he gets in his car all drunk, and the producers have to shut the cameras off and go get his keys. He's like, I'm fine. You guys want to have a show unless I wreck the car.
Wow.
He's watching the show, waiting for him to punch his wife. It has to happen. It probably happened in the past. This guy's just violent.
He's crazy.
There's a quote right here I was just reading. It says, because he works out a lot, apparently.
You think?
He goes, I could kick David Cassidy's ass when I was 10. Because that's about, I guess,
I could kick David Cassidy's ass.
when you were 10.
Right.
Sure.
Exactly.
Singing around, looking all cute.
Reed had his poster up on the wall. Could you think
Yeah, I'm a sucker for feathered hair.
What was Reed's hair like when he was... another quote from the sister. What was Reed's hair like?
Oh, we can bring in some photos, can we not, Meg? Because check it out. When we were growing up, we had this sweet-ass bowl cut. Did you guys have that? Because everyone had that. But
Did your parents cut your hair?
No, actually, it's so weird that they took us to a barber, and yet the barber did like 100 times worse job than they would have done if they had never cut a hair in their life. And our barber was actually drunk, and only then did we realize. I swear, because when you're a kid and you aren't really aware of alcohol. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And this guy, I swear, he had scissors in one hand and he had like a highball in the other. And so,
and a redneck.
He certainly was a redneck, definitely. But you realize that bowl cut, it looks stupid, but it's a pretty precision cut, man, because you have to get it pretty straight in the front. So we can bring in these pictures, and it looks like it is so jagged in the front, and I don't know why our parents never said anything about it. There's one.
Why are we having a mushroom cut in the first place? It just can't be a good hairstyle ever.
Well, but when you're 7 or 8 years old, you don't choose, you can't go in and tell your parents that you want something like, you want the high top fade or the Ron Reagan, you get what you are given, but the thing is, we still have that picture hanging in our living room, and my hair, people look at it and they're like, dude, what is going on?
Yeah.
You cut your own hair?
Which the difference would be people look at you now and say that too.
Actually, I do cut my own hair now, so.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You were a mess.
I cut my own hair.
Well, dude, you're bald. Yeah, you cut your own hair on the phone with me. Amanda, I'm on the phone.
He thought I was shaving something else.
I know.
What are you doing?
I thought he was...
got me shaving something else.
That's why he asked me. It's your fault.
It's like he's seen a little thing at the beach, and he's like, you need to groom up. So then I groomed up, and I regretted it from that moment
He looked
on.
like the Black Crowes Amorica CD cover with hanging out of the girl's bikini. That's not legal.
Hair panties.
Let's airbrush that
out. And we do have an interview with Reed and the Redneck. We'll play that next hour, as well as Cousin Ed's interview with Audio Slave, some kid on Xbox screaming the F word at his mom, that he wants chocolate milk. Because I guess when you're playing online games on, you got the headset.
You got to keep hydrated, baby.
You got to keep hydrated, especially when, And you know what? I was listening to it, and the mom is actually cursing back at the kid.
Yeah. Video games, they just drive a wedge between everyone.
And what's great is the kid's playing it, and the mom's talking. He's like, "You're messing me up. You're messing me up." And then you just hear like mad gunfire in the background.
It's good.
It's good. We'll hit that in the 8 o'clock hour, and also we'll play a bit from the White House is attacking the Onion, the satirical newspaper. The head writer Todd Hansen, who came on this show and strangely talked about JonBenet Ramsey. Numerous times.
Definitely seem to be obsessed with JonBenet. Matter of fact, he might have her.
This is the Lazlow Show. Ooh, what's it broken?
It's still the Lazlow Show.
It's still the Lazlow Show, but it's broken.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. Don't know. Right now.
The latest rage for kids is driving parents and entire neighborhoods crazy.
Laslo.
I love the production on this show. This is the Lazlow Show on 92.3. I guess we're going to be... What's your station called now down in Philly?
94.1 Free FM.
Free.
And I think they put the 1 in there because if you said 94 free, people are like 94 free. What's for free?
Right.
Yeah, people just get confused. So that's what I'm guessing.
Big changes in the radio industry going on.
Eagles lost 49-21.
Well, I didn't think they were going to come back from that.
I will couple that sports with some boob talk.
But let me do my little opening first. This is the Lazlow Show. Sitting in, we've got Wayne as the sidekick, Reed as the useless producer, Cousin Ed, who's been hanging out on a few shows.
No title yet.
Well, dude, it was going to be the Cousin Ed and Lazlow Show, but your old boss down in Philly kind of was kiboshing it.
It'll be the Cousin Ed Lazlow Show on Friday.
Oh, that's right. I'm coming down to Philly on Friday.
Are you worried?
No, I'm not. You know what I'm worried about? Is
that night.
Here's what I'm worried about.
Are you staying around that night?
No. You're
afraid.
Huh? No, I want to get home.
You're afraid because every time you come down there, it's like 5 in the morning and you look at me with this puppy dog eyes.
Yeah, like it's time to go to bed, dude.
Oh, you know? Still drinking.
Huh? I've got a mortgage.
I got to put a good 12 hours in.
You are going to be so dead at 41.
I don't care.
We noticed. You're like that guy in Leaving Las Vegas or whatever, just driving down the road, pouring whiskey down your gullet.
Cut people's hair with a drink in my hand. Using the scissors, using the cocktail to sterilize my scissors. Don't worry, kid, I'll clean them off for you.
Hair of the dog. And also sitting in, comedian Amanda Melson, who I, to her face, said, "Hey, how do you think the show's going, Megan?" and she goes, "I'm Amanda." And I was like, "Well, if you need me, I'll be in the bathroom," laughing hysterically.
So Megan, by the way, dreadlocks. Has dreadlocks.
Uh-huh.
I do not.
Meggie.
Meggie.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
It's okay.
What was Reed's nickname as a child? Anything?
Jay Reader.
What?
Jay Reader?
Jay Reader.
Jay Reader.
My phone is Jay Reader. I call him Jay Reader.
What's Jay Reader? This is new.
Jonathan Reed Tucker is his full name.
Sorry. What? And okay, I have a first name. Sorry. So does everyone.
Oh, I was just freaked because your full name was on the air. They'd know that was all right.
Yeah, that's not all right. We should have dumped out of that, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Cool.
Thanks for that. When I'm, by the way, dead with a knife in my back of my apartment.
He lives on the Upper West Side.
My real name is Brian McGee, just so we're on the same team right now, okay?
My real name is Lucian.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Well, that's my father's name.
That's right.
That I can't pronounce for nothing. I called him everything.
Lucius.
Lucian.
Wayne will come to meet your parents and he'll be
he's not
wicked stoned when he's doing it.
But they don't know it.
Dude, everybody knows
his father is. Do they know what your father does?
My father was an undercover drug narc.
Yeah, he didn't know you were high.
And hold on, look at his son. You wouldn't know his son gets high. Come on, Ed.
Great.
This is your son. What do you think?
We have a guy at our station. He would come to like the meetings high, like in the middle of the day. And I was like, okay, our boss has been a program director in rock radio for how many years now? How many decades? You don't think this is back? He was probably a boss if we were doing coke off the damn table right here. But he just not going to notice that this kid has bloodshot eyes and he's stoned. It's ridiculous.
And people think they're invincible.
Yeah. He said, no, nobody noticed, did they?
Ed used to carry Visine around with him everywhere.
I still do.
What are you, in high school?
I'm addicted. Because I don't. When you drink for 12 hours at the bar, you got to put some in. Otherwise, people think you're alcoholic.
Well, it's good to know that you're only a Visine bottle away from alcoholism.
I'm a professional.
And an AA meeting. So, Amanda Reed tells me that you were on Reading Rainbow, my favorite show ever.
I was. I worked there for a few years, just like as a legal assistant. But then I guess they were a little short on cash. I don't know. They decided to just use the employees in the show. So there's a scene I have with LeVar Burton.
Did he have his crazy eye thing on?
He did
he
not
see the future?
He might have been able to see the future, but there's this scene where it was like teaching kids that it's cool to ask strangers in the park for directions.
That's hot.
Yeah.
It was about getting into a van with no windows.
Can you tell me where the men's room is?
I know. I wanted to give him directions to the Rambles, but I figured that might be a little.
Right. Or Pickle Park, as we call it.
Pickle Park.
Oh, good. We've hit all the crutches this show.
I asked a Mexican today for directions to the taco joint. He helped me out. I was like, I want tacos. I was like, who should I ask? Next thing you know, this guy with a sombrero and a Mexican rug over his shoulder was standing right in front of me. It's like God was looking out for me. He's got to know where the tacos are.
Was he handing out flyers for tacos?
No, he just said 40. He probably just got off work from there. That's all I know. He said 46th Street, kid. Senor.
Nice.
Senor. Amigo.
There was a bullfight nearby. Is that a possibility?
So, Reed, last week you weren't on the show. You called in from this big barbecue festival in North Carolina?
Yeah, down in North Carolina. They have in Lexington, North Carolina, they have this whole just stuff yourself silly with pork for the whole weekend type thing. So
you sounded a little bloated on the phone.
Yeah, I know you don't eat the swine, but...
and I found out, by the way, a little bit of information about Reed's girlfriend.
Yoko Ono
has a house so big that it has an elevator in it.
What?
That's true, yeah. But you know that they try to...
Isn't that called a Dakota?
Is there anybody crippled in the family?
Well, that's the thing. That's how they explain it away, is that the person who lived in the house before was older and infirm and needed an elevator. But what's so weird is that they also have an escalator.
What?
I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. They don't have an escalator.
My shower's in my kitchen.
Oh, is that right? You got the East Village special?
Yeah, I live in the smallest apartment in the world.
Well, this is in North Carolina, so if you took your rent money and had you could get yourself 50 acres down
escalator.
a national park in
and then
North
you
Carolina.
Stare at girls' boobs when they're the 2 steps ahead of you on the escalator. They're just like eye level.
Aren't they? Isn't their back facing you when you're on the escalator?
He turns around.
Now once you grab their ass, they all turn around. Learned that from Big Wayne on the subway.
And that's why we've never had a woman on the show until now.
I'm horrified to ever ride like an escalator or subway again. Listening to both
dude,
of you.
he will look at me. We'll be on the escalator, and Wayne will look at me, and he'll mouth to me, "I want to bite that ass," and he'll get like his head like he's bobbing toward that ass to bite it. I'm like, Wayne, no mas.
Reed, as a producer today, gave us a talking to before the show. He's like, "There's gonna be a girl on the show. I need you guys to behave."
Oh yeah, we're supposed to.
Nice job, guys.
Well,
Nice
sometimes
job.
we've had some guests on, and there's been some incidents.
Yeah, the very first show that Wayne was on, if you want to hear that mess, it's posted at the website lazlow.com. But we had an albino, black albino, with a lazy eye on.
Oh, was it my Victor?
Sure, Victor.
Yeah.
You know
Yes, it
Victor.
was Victor.
I know him.
Who's a cool, funny guy.
He's a cool, funny guy.
And Wayne suddenly had a flashback to the 1980s when I guess in Queens they used to rumble like it was the Warriors or something.
Was there a gang called the Albinos?
They were right with the baseball
it's
mimes.
called the Ku Klux Klan. Right. So, Reed, we should get to this interview because the show is like rapidly falling out from under us, and time is. And then I got to get to the ratings, and then I got to get to this weird, creepy Hungarian guy that's sending in pictures of himself on his car, like he's a car model.
Is he clothed?
Yes.
Good.
No, we haven't got the men sending pictures of their junk in. That hasn't happened yet. No. Where was this redneck that you were interviewing?
So we ran into this guy. We ate at like 10 of these barbecue restaurants a day, and so most of these places are just very much in rural places in North Carolina. So the people that eat there have probably been eating there for 57 years in a row. So I just started talking to this one guy, and
what was he dressed like?
He was dressed, he had, it was so weird because he didn't really fit in. He had like a long sleeve shirt on, and I think he had a sweater vest on, which I thought was a little weird.
Bolo tie? That's always a good sign.
Yeah, but everyone down there is so friendly, and even the cashier will talk to you for like 35 minutes, and so it's no problem just to go over to somebody's table and start talking to him. And he was real nice to me, and then I told him like, hey bro, I work for this radio station in New York. And as soon as I said New York, dude, like his face just fell. It looked like he was going to put me in the trunk of his car and bury me in quicklime, So, but he was real nice. So I asked him, can I ask you a few questions, and maybe we'll put you on the show. And so he's going to represent the South.
All right, here we go. What was his name?
I swear this is true. His name was actually Butch. I'm not even making that up. I was like, dude.
And then you woke up and you were in some kind of like leather costume with a ball in your mouth.
Yeah. Bring out the gimp.
Here we go.
Don't be afraid. Could you just ask those questions one at a time?
Sure. Where did you grow up?
I'm originally from Athens, Georgia.
And what was the second?
Now, were you having you were like,
Well, so the thing is, I asked him 2 questions at first, and then that sort of threw him. I said, so where are you from? Where'd you grow up? And it was 2 questions, and his brain couldn't compute. So he asked me to ask them again, and I forgot what the second question I asked him was.
Is he going to listen to the show on his internet and hear us trash him?
On his internet.
He doesn't have the internet, Ed. No. And what was the second question I just asked you? Where were you born?
Well, I was born in Tampa, Florida, during a hurricane. Actually,
that sounds like a Rolling Stones song.
No,
dude, your recorder sounds like it's 1802 in that place.
Right? It's one of those that had a hand crank on it, but
I love it.
Yeah, that sounds like a Rolling Stones song.
No, it was.
Yeah,
truly was.
Are you a fan of North Carolina barbecue?
Some. I like all kind of food. Barbecue and barbecue.
It starts off a little slow because whenever you just come up to somebody in a restaurant and just throw a tape recorder in their face, they get a little weirded out because they don't know, especially when you tell them you're from the north.
It's like Ford Gump. I like barbecue,
right.
barbecue, and barbecue. Shrimp.
I like all kind of food. Barbecue and barbecue is good. We have a lot of. Yeah.
What's your favorite place to go, and why do you like it there?
Well, in Charlotte, we're limited. That would be Bubba's.
What do you think the chances are that guy named Bubba would open a barbecue place?
1 in a million. And I don't think that's his real name. I think his real name is Oscar.
I don't think that's his real name. I might have missed that part. For cousin
1 in a million.
Well, in Charlotte, we're limited. That would be Bubba's.
What do you think the chances are that guy named Bubba would open a barbecue place?
1 in a million. And I don't think that's his real name. I think his real name is Oscar.
Really? That's not a very good barbecue name.
No, I know. That's why he calls himself Bubba.
Have you ever been to New York City?
I have.
What do you think of New York City?
It's crowded, busy, and hard to find your way around for a guy from Charlotte.
And you notice how he says Charlotte goes Harlot. It's like he swallows it.
Yeah.
They're all slurring. They're all moonshine.
Oh, Reed finds out quickly why this gentleman is slurring.
It's busy and hard to find your way around for a guy from Charlotte.
And this is going to be on in New York. Do you have a message for all the Yankees?
Stay there.
All right. Right.
Did he have what kind of look did he have on his face?
Yeah, then at that point he broke out a musket and stuck it in my face. It was
from
like
underneath his skin.
It's war.
That's gonna put a damper on my next carpetbagging trip.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would believe that would be a red state.
Yeah. Just for all the Yankees.
Stay there.
All right. What if they read? Because I wrote an article about barbecue. What if they read the article and they want to come down here and eat barbecue?
We'll send you some.
He's going to be FedExing some barbecue. Yo, man, this is cold. Jeez. Did you run into this kind of hostility a lot?
I mean, it's not hostility. Like you see, he says
that's hostility. That's Southern hostility. They'll smile at you and tell you, "I hate you, Northerners."
Right. I know. I'm gonna kill you. And eat barbecue.
We'll send you some.
Why don't you like Northerners?
I do like Northerners. I married a Northerner, and It's been hard ever since.
Like a mixed race, goes at like some kind of mixed race wedding he had there.
Northerner to him was North Carolina, though.
Right. 20 minutes north.
It's been hard ever since.
What do you think the main differences are between Northerners and Southerners?
Manners, thought processes.
Yeah, we think faster would be. y'all think too fast for me.
Thought processes, communication skills, patience, traffic patterns.
That's the one that tore me up.
Traffic patterns.
He's like, y'all got them circular things you got to go around in. I saw it on the movie once. It kept saying Big Ben.
Actually, up here we drive on the left side of the road. Have you noticed that? It's like
wait, traffic patterns.
I want to see that guy on a Jersey jug handle. All confused. What do you mean I can't go left?
Traffic patterns. Are there one-way streets down there? That's what may be throwing them off.
No, they're not. It's mostly just highways and residential streets.
Right.
So, yeah, it could be.
A lot of dead-end roads.
A lot of dead-end roads.
A lot of dead-end roads that all roads lead to Outback Steakhouse.
Patience, traffic patterns, and shirt tails are always out up north. I don't know why it is. They try to have them in. It's cold. They need to keep their body warmth in, but they don't do that.
Shirt tails.
Our shirt tails are out.
What is this, like 1904? You know, during the talkies, they're always talking during the movie.
I don't know. I don't know why it is. They try to have them in. It's cold. They need to keep their body warmth in, but they don't do that.
And we were walking around at the barbecue festival. We saw a guy that had his jacket made out of a Confederate flag. What do you think?
I think he's desecrating the flag.
That is my favorite part of your interview.
He's desecrating the flag.
Yeah, because, you shouldn't be, it should be flying above the State House, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. And we were walking around at the barbecue festival. We saw a guy.
You did what?
We did see a guy with a jacket made out of a Confederate flag.
And why is there not a picture on the website of this?
I didn't have my camera, and it's amazing what they can do, though. He made a whole outfit. I was like, oh, is it Halloween? No, it wasn't.
No,
it's
not.
Just, Thursday. Walking around at the barbecue festival, we saw a guy that had his jacket made out of a Confederate flag. What do you think?
I think he's desecrating the flag.
What are you drinking there?
I'm not drinking at all.
What's in your glass?
This is an IV.
You can hear him sort of slurring.
Yeah, I think he had a drink, but it was so weird. Either he was having illusions that there was no drink there, or he just didn't want to admit it into the tape recorder.
Right.
But then he said,
what time of day is this? 9, 10 in the morning?
Yeah, like 9 a.m., the usual.
What time was it?
No, this was probably it's just after lunch, but barely.
Good. Always a good time to be loaded.
At all.
What's in your glass?
This is an IV.
And are you a fan of rock music?
Some, yes. I've always liked to, as they say down here, sing along.
What's sing along?
Well, you generally make a fool of yourself on stage.
Up north, they call that karaoke.
Right. No, I think, I can imagine what kind of karaoke they do down there.
But that's the thing is, I asked him, I was like, oh, you're talking about karaoke? And he said, no. I think what he did is he liked to have a few drinks and then actually run on stage with the band.
Right.
And it was sort of like basically an illegal sing-along is what he's talking about. The kind where you spend the night in jail.
Right.
Because I was like, oh, karaoke?
I think it was like that episode of Ollie G where when he dresses up as Barat, the Midwest Easterner or whatever, and he goes down to the South. And starts playing this awful, awful tune.
Oh, the Throw the Jew Down the Well.
In my country there is problem, and that problem is the Jew. They take everybody money, they never give it back. Throw the Jew down the well. So my country.
Did you ever hear this, Ed?
No.
No, it's the Ali G dressed up as this as like he was from Kazakhstan or whatever, and he said, I want to learn a country music. So he went into this place and played the most awful anti-Semitic racist song, and all of these rednecks, it was like they were in heaven, clapping, screaming. my favorite bits that Ollie G did was when he would go to the South and show just what absolute racist, homophobic rednecks they were.
I'm picturing a lot of chicken wire there.
Dude, you got to see. I think the Ollie G series is on DVD now.
Yeah,
though that is a classic bit.
But what he's really proving is that people down there just don't have HBO, because the guy's done 2 seasons now, and it's like, do you not know who this guy is? And every once in a while you'll read in the paper that, he was at a baseball game and doing something weird as Borat, and still people are falling for it. It's like...
Because they don't read either?
They don't, yeah, exactly. They don't read, they don't watch TV.
But they got great communication skills.
Exactly. And...
traffic, something.
So Reed also asked the redneck about his girlfriend. About Reed's girlfriend,
Yoko Ono.
And the guys on the radio show think that my girlfriend is Yoko Ono and she's trying to bust up the band. You got any dirt?
Well, I saw Yoko the other weekend.
Hey, how loaded is this guy? Yeah, she's down here. She loves it down here. We like slanty eyes.
He's just trying to be funny now. That's what my mom does when she finds out she's in the radio. She's like, I say something funny here.
You put your mom on the air?
Yeah, and when she's not on the air, she is funny. But as soon as she finds out that mic's on and you're recording, she tries to be funny, and it's not.
It's like you.
Dirt.
Well, I saw Yoko the other weekend, and I want to tell you that she moves in different areas. You've got to watch her.
What?
I wouldn't trust her as far as I could throw her.
Yeah. How do you think?
A lot of questions here.
He's starting to get a little tired of Reed.
That was it said in a nice way, but honestly, he was about to kill me.
He's like, okay, we're getting to the Yoko questions.
Questions here.
Do you want me to turn this off now?
Well, I don't know. It's up to you.
But I'm going to kill you.
Wow.
All right.
It's hard to finish an interview when you're being run out on a rail.
Right. I didn't check the concealed weapons law in North Carolina before I went. Maybe I should have.
At any point, were you scared?
No. He's a real nice guy. I mean, he was down with it. He had some fun with it.
He seemed to know Yoko pretty well.
Yeah. But see, I was telling Reed this week, though. Like, rednecks will do that. They just make stuff up, They always want to be like they're in with the celebrities or whatever. Right. What is he talking? Where was this recorded?
In North Carolina.
Yoko Ono ain't going to North Carolina.
No.
Maybe he meant he saw your girlfriend.
Yeah, she does have the elevator for the infirm. Maybe she's carting that guy up and down. You never know.
It's possible.
What message did I leave for you this morning?
Oh, I didn't...
On your cell phone.
Oh, I didn't listen.
I said, maybe we'll see if you actually booked a guest for the show. When you're done rolling over to Yoko and whispering in her ear, I'm funny than the other guys, aren't I? I'm funnier.
We got a guest, fool. Come on.
I know, but you booked her like today.
But the other guy canceled out.
Right.
I booked him a week ago.
Uh-huh.
You can't help people.
Well, I think I like Amanda better.
Good. I'm glad you can read your handwriting this week.
Dude, I go to the other side. I forget her name.
I know.
And then your sister Peggy. I don't know what.
I'm going to write everything down on your hand, just like Meggie over there.
That's my phone number. It's on her hand.
I know, yeah. And we're going to get out the scrub brush when we get home, brother.
So
that's permanent marker.
So
Sharpie.
What? So Amanda, why don't you tell us what is this show about? What is that you do?
This show, I have no idea.
We don't either. I'm talking about your show.
Oh, okay.
The Greg Giraldo Show.
Right.
The Greg Giraldo Show is, it's like Greg is the host of Friday nights on Comedy Central. So we tape like a half-hour show with a studio audience, but then it's split up in between a bunch of stand-up specials. So that's what it's all about. We have a monologue and, field pieces and all kinds of stuff. Hilarity, lots of hilarity.
Does the man ever get you down? Do you ever record something that you bring it back and the suits say that you can't use it, or do you get jokes cut and things like that?
Reed, do you have an axe to grind with these guys?
No, I don't. That's just what everyone thinks. Is like
leave Rob Cross alone. He let us do our show here. Our ratings.
But you know how it is working for the corporate man.
Yeah. No, we actually have a lot of freedom.
You really? That's good.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Greg is really funny. I guess sometimes people get jobs writing for people that they don't actually like a lot.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, Greg, you're the funniest man alive. No, he actually is great. So we, it's not bad.
Yeah. Do you know any other comedians that have a degree from Harvard Law? Isn't that Greg Giraldo?
Yeah, he went to Columbia and then he went to Harvard Law, and I don't think he ever practiced law.
No.
And he spent all that money, and now...
That's always so weird. Like, I was at this video game company recently, and I was talking to a few other testers, and evidently a lot of the guys that sit around and play video games all day went to Yale. I'm like, I guess like, hey, guess what? I win. I've got a Yale degree now. I can just do anything I want.
Look at my brother. He spent 12 years in architecture. He's not an architect. He sits home, gets high in his basement.
Yeah, dude. And that's a true story.
How much does that pay?
I don't know. He's happy. He's making enough.
He designed the Radio Laslo logo.
There you go.
Your brother.
Look like he's going places. In a couple of years, he'll be able to upgrade. Just kidding, Marcella.
And tell Amanda.
Do you even know my name at this point?
Yeah. What did you say your real name was?
Brian McGee.
Brian McGee. Tell Amanda what your brother's name is.
Ed.
Are you like George Foreman, where everyone in your family is named Ed?
It made it easy for Mom.
Are you both your real names are Ed?
Yes.
No.
No.
No. See, they're like...
Is this like a puzzle? Do we have to decipher what?
Oh, it's so confusing.
Wow.
So your real name is not, in fact.
No, it's Brian.
Are you a ninja?
No, I'm not.
You're practicing this code of silence. You're trying to confuse us. So
Are you going to drop a smoke bomb and just disappear?
Yeah, in about a half hour.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have to leave because you have to go to Jimmy Inappropriate's party.
Yeah, dude.
Don't you?
Sunday. I don't have to work till late on Mondays now. I'm going drinking.
All right. Well, then we should take a quick break. This is the Lazlow Show, sort of what's left of it. We have Wayne, Reed, Cousin Ed hanging out, or Brian McGee, or whatever your damn name is. Meggie?
Yes.
Okay. Reed's sister, supposedly his sister, is hanging out. She could be, you know what? She could really be Yoko. We never know.
This is true.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Yoko's pretty hot. You're doing good, Reed.
No, it's his sister. I can tell by the way they look at each other.
Way to go, John Lennon.
And Amanda Melson from what show?
Friday Night with Greg Giraldo.
I really should put this on my notes.
Yeah,
and what channel is it on?
It's on Comedy Central.
Excellent. Now, are the new people over there okay? Because I heard they switched guard. It was a bit of a scene.
I'm pretty new there, so I guess I only know the new people.
Yeah.
I like them okay.
Do they get upset at you about any kind of humor?
No. Usually the most disgusting jokes are mine, I think.
Oh, really?
And, but they probably think that the smarter ones are like, oh, the woman probably wrote those, but really, no. So I have this, the illusion of being a really sensitive, intellectual comic, but no, not actually. Works out.
I'm down. Do you have a website?
I do. I should probably update it so that your Hungarian guy on a car doesn't go to a broken website.
Oh, yes. He goes, "Hi, Laslo. My name is Tomas. I live in Europe, Hungary. My English is not good, sorry. I have a question. Where are you from your parents?" I was going to email him back, but it's just not appropriate where I'm from my parents.
The same part of your parents everybody's from.
Well, I don't know. You're hatched from eggs in Oklahoma. Your name is very similar to from the Hungarian Laslo. Photo about me and my car Honda. So I guess, see, he has a Honda too, so he thinks we're like bros. You see?
You better know that car can be taken fast.
Except he's excited that, last week we were talking about how to hotwire a Honda.
Wow.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to learn on this show. If in case you want to learn how to hotwire a Honda, it's on the website. But I guess in Hungary, if you own a Honda, it's like a Mercedes or something. You know?
I know they have, like, Mini Cooper people have, like, you should wave to other people who have Mini Coopers.
My friend had one of those.
I don't think there's a code there.
Do they do that with Vespas?
They do, sort of.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, you wave through the glory hole. Okay. We always have to say glory hole at least once on this show. Going into break, a little bit of breaking the man down with Spoon Love.
Good afternoon, Country Club.
Yeah. All right, I'm calling. My name is Spoon Love. I'm calling about tea time.
You aren't a member of the club, are you?
Nah, I need to be a member. I'm just trying to come get some tea time, me and my cousin.
Hold on one.
Right on.
Mr. Connolly's office.
Yes, I'm calling about tea time.
Tea time?
Getting some tea time, me and my cousins.
You don't get tea time. This is a private club.
But nobody never said it was a private club. I can't come down.
It's a private club. No, you just can't come down and
play. Why, because I'm black?
No, because this is a private club and we don't have tea times. The club is closed.
Why is it?
Good afternoon, Country Club.
Can I talk to Bob Connolly, please?
Hold on.
All right.
Hello, Bob Connolly.
Bob Connolly.
Yes.
We got a problem here, man. My name is Spoon, and I just called for a tea time, and she automatically just hung up on me, assuming that I was not a member.
But we don't take tea times. So I know you're not a member.
What's really going on here, man?
There is no tea time.
Why am I not allowed at this club?
There's never been any tea times at ever.
This sounds racist.
You need to
How
be...
can I become a member? Me and my cousins, we just want to be members, man.
You need to be sponsored by...
You black, Bob? Bob, are you black?
No.
So you don't know the struggle, man?
I wish I could help you, but I don't know. It's a private
Bob,
club.
yo, listen, this is a time for patriotism, man. I'm an American, man. What's going on here, man?
You certainly are. You're always welcome as the guest of a member, and if you want to become a member, you need to be sponsored by the existing member.
I feel disrespected, Bob.
Anything else I can help you with?
Yes. I bet you I could caddy there. Can I be a caddy?
Yeah, absolutely.
See? Oh, my goodness, Bob.
But everybody else can, too.
Whoa, man. Whoa.
Okay.
Bob.
Bye-bye.
Bob.
Country Club.
Yes, may I speak to Mr. Connolly? Connolly?
Okay, sure. Hold on.
Hello, Bob Connolly.
Mr. Connolly?
Yes, what can I do for you?
My name is Bill Simmons, and I'm looking forward to joining your club.
Uh-huh.
I have some friends that are members there.
Okay.
And they referred me to you guys.
Okay.
Okay?
What is it that you want me to do?
I would like to join the club.
Okay.
Ha ha! Yeah, this is Spoon. You are on some racist shit, man.
Huh?
Doc, yeah, nothing.
Huh?
You heard me, this is Spoon. I got your ass.
You do?
Y'all are listening to the Lazlow Show on K-Rock in New York City.
If you're looking to earn a 92.3 K-Rock, Lazlow Show. You love adjusting that microphone, Wayne.
Well, there's a lot of movement around over
there. Is a lot of movement. Wayne, the sidekick, Cousin Ed from WYSP.
Free FM.
Free FM, baby. Groovy. Sitting in on the show, as well as Amanda Melson.
That's right.
Comedian. Where do you do stand-up? Any recent stuff?
Kind of all over. I do, like, mostly, basements, bars, theaters.
Is the Gotham Comedy Club any good?
Yeah, it's very good. I would like to perform there.
Oh, is that? Oh, so that's like a nice one, huh?
Yeah, it's nice.
I've been to like Caroline's. That's about it.
Yeah, Caroline's is good, but they mostly have uber famous people.
Uber.
Any horrifying heckling stories? That's what I wouldn't be able to deal with.
I haven't.
You get your groove on, and all of a sudden somebody just ruins it.
Yeah, I haven't had too many horrible heckling stories. Just like incredible indifference. Just a giant wall of silence occasionally.
See, that's what's nice about radio, because they turn the channel we don't hear.
Exactly.
We have no clue. But I should go into the ratings real quick. Because
to prove that there is people listening? People listening?
Reed and I, honestly, when we got a call from K-Rock, and they called me, not Reed, because he's unemployed. And they said, well, would you be interested in doing a show over there? And I said, okay, let me get a crew of dudes together. And, you came in, Cousin Ed, and that was before Wayne was even considered. We've had, it's sort of evolved over the last 16 weeks, but we thought we were going to do a few shows, and then that was going to be it. And we still don't know if we're going to last past December. But we got a call. I guess the ratings came in, and they did a comparative whatever before the Lazlow Show started and after. And in some demographics, we have doubled the listenership. We've gone from like men 25 to 44, went from a 4.1 to 10.5. Is that? I mean, you deal with these numbers all the time. I don't. I make video game noises and radio commercials.
When you told me this the other day, I was like, you know what? You were really sticking them to them. What was funny is they probably moved you to Sunday. Like, nobody listens on Sunday. That's where we put all the shows where nobody listens. And you turned around and took us where obviously nobody was listening and made people listen.
Yeah, it's kind of.
It's a big deal for a Sunday show. Yeah.
18 to 34, that demographic in a couple of, like the 8 o'clock hour when The Simpsons, isn't that when The Simpsons are on?
Sure.
In the 8 o'clock hour? Actually, we doubled the numbers then, too. So, they didn't give me any numbers for women, strangely enough.
Yeah, they don't care about women.
Isn't that weird?
Women don't listen.
No, whether they listen or not is irrelevant. It's 18 to 49-year-old men are proven to buy the most product. So it's an advertising medium.
What?
Yep. Who buys the most product? 18 to 49-year-old men, and that's who we want to reach.
Amanda, you are one of the only females we've ever had on the show. Agree, disagree?
I buy a lot of stuff. I want to be catered to. This is ridiculous.
I'm not saying that's my mentality.
And I've never listened to K-Rock before. So there you go. I mean, I don't know. Do a lot of... I don't know if
What do you listen to? Like,
I listen to NPR.
Oh boy,
and
get a liberal in here.
The car guys.
Yeah, a lot of car talk, a lot of
car talk.
I love to hear funny permutations of people's names when their muffler's making a noise, like
little like poetry readings in the afternoon with Garrison Keillor. Right.
I like to check in with Guy Noir.
Right, he has like the news from Lake Wobegon. We have the news from Lake Wayne Begon, which involves some sort of drive-through with Planned Parenthood.
At Pickle Park.
Pickle Park's coming strong.
I love Planned Parenthood.
Do you?
It's the best place. I don't know.
It is the best place.
It's a place you can go and all your troubles are just sucked away.
It's like Cheers when Wayne walks in. Wayne!
For me, I put it on a scale of it was like $250 college tuition for 4 years.
Exactly.
It's a very good deal.
Exactly. I know they just had a study come out that apparently abortion does not actually cause depression. Because I guess people weigh it like, what causes depression?
Kids.
Having a kid.
Everybody I know that has kids is miserable.
Yeah.
That's why I got none.
I got new next door neighbors. They got a kid. And my girlfriend lives with these like, you got to turn the music down. There's people that have a kid. I'm like, they have a kid. I don't have a kid.
Exactly.
I don't have to live by kid rules.
I know.
I'm not turning anything down.
I love these people that think the whole world should change because they, the miracle that has only occurred like 800 billion times over the last 50 billion years.
They're in for some pain next Tuesday when Star Wars comes out on DVD. I'm watching it loud.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Ed Theater.
Cousin Ed and I have made so much noise in his apartment with various instruments and your surround sound system that the cops got called on us because
4 a.m. is like, everybody grab a guitar, let's go.
I was playing harmonica and his next door neighbors called the police.
They thought somebody was dying.
And the cops, I went upstairs, so like, Laslo, get the door. And I was just S-faced enough to like, yeah, okay. So I go upstairs and I open the front door and there's all these cops with their hands on their guns. I'm like, yo, and the whole place just reeks of weed. And so I yell downstairs, I'm like, because there's all sorts of like bongs and stuff. I go, hey, Cousin Ed, the cops are here.
You didn't tell him your dad's a cop?
No, it didn't work in Philly, dude. You ever heard of Mamiya? They beat you down, boy. And so they said that the next door neighbor said that they thought a woman was getting murdered. And I said, no, it's just my harmonica playing. I'm pretty drunk at the bar now.
What I think it was is we our voice guy, who's like huge now, does all the voiceovers for like the big movies you see. I'm Howard Parker. I talk really deep like this.
He did a bunch of stuff for Grand Theft Auto, yeah.
He was singing a Doors song that night, and that's what I think. I think it was his singing. Somehow when he sang, it was a high-pitched noise, and there was actually one female. There was like 8 guys and 1 female. That's a party at my house.
She did get murdered, though. You have to.
The police had to come down and actually pull her aside and say, no, honestly, you said everything's okay in front of the guys, but come over here with us.
Oh, I don't even remember that part, dude. I was hanging out by the front door. Plus,
getting ready to run.
Seriously, dude, you walk into Cousin Ed's house, and there's like maces and battle axes. It's like somebody robbed some kind of weird Renaissance fair.
I used to have a baseball bat at my front door because I'm in Philly, but now I upgraded, did a spot for some, You
don't got the 9mm?
Holy Grail place, some store that sells that crap. They give me the Excalibur sword, so I answer the door with that now.
Hey, he actually has this thing, it's like a stick with a chain, and then like the ball with the spikes on it.
You get drunk, hit it up against the wall.
I gotta come down there one weekend, man.
I'm telling you. Dude, be ready, you're not going to bed.
I don't need to go to bed.
Dude.
We'll be at the strip club till 4 a.m.
That's Radioland. Ed is the Ed I want to be with.
And the club's closed at 2. We're still there, 4 a.m. We're not leaving until all the girls are out of the back locker room. Let's go.
See, normally when clubs close or bars close, you have to go. But Ed knows everybody. So the bar shuts down. They're like, okay, now it's a private party for Ed and his buddies.
Excellent.
It's a good thing.
So I guess recently there was some kid who was playing on Xbox Live and left his microphone on, and some other kid recorded it. So you can hear he's playing a head-to-head game.
So while the other guys are playing, they hear this fight.
Right, and the kid's character just stops in the game because he's too busy screaming at his mom, and all the other people who are playing in this online game are laughing because this kid and his mom are totally fighting over chocolate milk.
You're messing me up! You're messing me up! You're messing me up!
Oh my gosh.
This kid is going to be gunning down a school.
He's playing like Battlefield or something?
Yeah.
Stop! You're messing me up!
She's trying to take the controller away from him.
It's a massacre. You're not in bed yet. Well, I need it up loud.
They're arguing over it. She's like, you need to turn it down. He's like, I need it up loud. By the way, this kid is 9.
Mom, I need it up. Whatever. I need it up. Why will I have to get off? Why? That's stupid. You always do that all the time. You never let me play it. You always get off.
That she's always
you're always high.
Yeah.
What? You're
always stupid. You're always high, Mom.
You never let me play it. You always get off. Get off. Get off. It's time to get off. I'm going to bed. Time to get off. Turn it down. You never let me have it up loud. This weekend, you're like, no, it's not. During the weekend, you're up as loud as you want. So weekend right now, so I get it up as loud as I want. Why?
Dude, if this kid had a gun, the mother would be dead.
Well, dude, if this was my mom and you keep going, why? You would be across the room. I don't know what happened. I mean, maybe the mom's so high, she's like peace and love. But, I mean, like, that's not how it happened in my house.
This clip makes me want to go back to Planned Parenthood just to hang out outside.
Right.
Love
just
you
to give
guys.
advice. Just to give advice.
Right.
Why? Okay. Why? Get off. No, that's bull. I want chocolate milk, not fish. You said that you didn't bring me a drink. I don't want to Mountain Dew. I want chocolate milk now. I want chocolate milk now. Why? That's what I want. Why can't you get it? Yes. Mom, get it.
Don't you just want to beat this kid?
It doesn't end.
I know.
Game time at the Menendez house.
In my house, you got one no. After that, they take the game away. You're not playing. You'll never play it again.
Right, exactly. It would be up your ass. You know?
Why?
Get it! Mom, please get it. Why?
Did she take it? Oh my God.
You said you didn't get me a drink and you lied! No! You said you could give me whatever I wanted to drink. Then I said a Mountain Dew, and now I want chocolate milk!
I love the intermittent gunshot, you know? It's just like...
Other people in the gang are running around looking for this kid because he's not playing.
What's funny is if you actually find this clip online, you can see the other characters actually go up and they're standing in front of him looking at his character and pointing a gun at him.
Killing him.
And you can see his mouth moving when the kid's screaming, why? The mouth of the character in the game moves.
You bitch!
He called her a bee.
What? I want some chocolate milk!
He wants some effing chocolate milk.
Why would I get in trouble? You said you'd bring me whatever I wanted to drink, and now you won't. That means you're lying. Bring me chocolate milk. I want some chocolate milk.
Oh my God, he's
I
lying?
have to get up. Why? That's up. I have to do
I feel awkward saying the F word in front of my mom and dad now. Like, I'm on the phone, it slips. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, I know. When I say it in front of your mom, actually, I've never met your mom. Can you believe that like a kid would get away with that? Is it the timeout phase of? Have we all gotten sissified in this country? Kids should be beaten. you know, and if they take it away from you, then it's a bonus.
This is what happens when you don't beat your kids.
Exactly. I got many a beating. Wayne?
I got beat left and right. And there was no video games involved.
My parents hit me with a fiberglass rod, boy.
Fiberglass rod?
Yeah, that thing hurt. It was like, remember that yellow pole that held up your fluorescent orange flag on the back of your bike with the banana seat?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, they cut that down to like 3 feet, and they used to whip me with that.
I got the leather belt and my mother's slipper.
I fooled them once. I took like two 2x2s and I put them down my pants because I knew I was going to get my butt whooped. My brother was crying like a little girl. His mom hits me. I'm like, go ahead, hit me again. I don't feel a thing. That's all you got?
I didn't get beaten or anything, but I was never filled with rage while playing Donkey Kong. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you didn't want to go beat up Italians, throw barrels at them,
or gorillas.
No?
No.
Nothing?
Yeah, but I think I just played a lot less violent games or something.
No, I think that when we weren't playing video games, crime is down. That's what you don't see in all this propaganda in the news about, video games and violence and all this. Crime among kids and teens is actually significantly down because they're indoors playing games. Whereas before there were games, I'm blowing up frogs. I'm shooting like flaming arrows.
Getting across that road
at cats.
But now with PSP, you don't have to do it indoors. Eh? You can steal a car and play Grand Theft Auto outside in the stolen car.
That's true.
True.
I think it's just that kids are too fat.
Kids are fat.
They're too fat to cause crime.
Reed, what did you when you leave New York City? He was telling me this last week. When you leave New York City and you go down to like a North Carolina or I go home to Oklahoma, what are you shocked by?
Yeah, there's some porkers out there,
dude,
boy.
This country is getting fat, boy.
I know. Down in North Carolina, one of these restaurants outside, they had one of these mechanical pigs. You put a quarter in and you ride it. And there was a girl. She was probably like 9 years old, and she was probably like 200 pounds. And it was like,
pig?
Yeah, it was like, oh look, a pig on a pig. I was like, oh, the irony is so deep and delicious. But I don't think anyone else got it.
I love it.
She'd have to pay more for her size. Pig probably. You're throwing $1 in here.
Yeah,
honey,
it was 25 cents per 50 pounds. That's what the small print said.
They just had to put her on a mechanical bull. Like, we're going to graduate you to this right now.
Put that quarter in the scale over there.
I was worried this week because I realized on Thursday it occurred to me, or actually it was pointed out to me by my significant other, that I had eaten pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 3 days straight, and I'd showered twice over the course of like 5 days.
So
you're sticking up for the little girl on the pig.
I'm sticking up for drug binges, eating like crap.
Your next step is to move into a car, I think.
Right, and then Wayne will do a video of banging me.
Excellent.
I gave up deodorant for 3 days. The girl did not like that.
What was that for?
Because no deodorant works on me. So I figured, maybe I'll build up a tolerance. I'll quit the drug for a while. Then I'll come back 3 days later. Maybe the deodorant will work. But I didn't last 3 days. She's like, you're putting some deodorant on. You're lady speed stick.
I never wear deodorant.
Oh, what a shock. You got dreadlocks. Great.
Do you shave your armpits?
Let's go to Bonnaroo and bang between trailers.
Excellent.
I actually usually do shave my armpits, but right now I
Can we get a look?
Let me see. Let me see. Reed, sister, come on. I want to see armpit hair.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
That's nothing. Let's see what you
I have very light armpit hair. It's very natural and beautiful.
Reed, her shirt's almost off.
Look away, Reed. Hold on, you're from the South. It's not that bad.
Right, please. It's from the South. He's getting excited. Coming up on the show in just a little bit. Did you talk to Todd Hansen? Is he calling in?
Like 2 minutes.
Okay, so Todd Hansen from The Onion, he's the head writer. He's going to be calling in and explain what it's like to have the White House hate you. Cousin Ed will be leaving probably 20-30 minutes, but hopefully we'll get to your interview with Audioslave. And we also, we try to play sort of rap and hip-hop from around the globe to show how people are fronting on our American style. I actually have a video, I have audio from a video of some Indians. And when I say Indian, I don't mean, I mean like a Del Texas Portello. Doing a cover of a Snoop Dogg song, Drop It Like It's Hot. But they've changed the lyrics to point out how it's so great that all of the jobs are getting outsourced to India. And they're dope, and they got a bunch of money over there because they get paid, $5,000 a year is like $1 billion. So we'll play a little audio of Indians go, drop it like it, okay. This is the Laslo Show, the website, in case you care. You want to email the show, see pictures of Reed, see pictures of Wayne wearing a diaper, is at lazlow.com. There's also pictures of Cousin Ed up in the French Alps.
You can't see me at all.
No.
I look like a spaceman.
This is the Lazlow Show.
2-3 K-Rock. Great rock. Period.
It is the Lazlow Show. Going into the final hour, we've got more show than we have time for. So maybe we should slow time down or something.
Go into delay.
We are in delay right now.
Oh.
But
go for another hour.
We could. Jake Fogelnest, I think, is on after us, and he was on Howard Stern this week.
He'd give up an hour of his time?
I don't know. He's going to be on the show at some point, just because he comes in here like he just shut up or he just woke up from shooting up. I called him. He was on Howard Stern, because he found out that he was getting fired on Stern, so he came in. And
I thought I heard that someone actually text messaged.
Yeah, he got a text message and they said turn on Stern, and he heard that he was getting fired, so he came in here all upset and went in there and raised a bit of a ruckus.
I'm sure Howard will take some of the DJs over there with him.
And then after the show, I called him and I said, "Hey, I don't want to interrupt you. I'm sure you're putting a tourniquet around your arm in Washington Square Park to shoot up some smack." He goes, why do you guys always make jokes like I'm like a drug addict? Those days are done. All right. Whatever. Let's see if we can pull up Todd Hansen from the Onion. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Now, when we were playing that song, we were talking about you. Could you hear us?
I could hear some of you and couldn't hear others.
Right. Well, those people are not important.
The worst is that I heard you ask somebody if they wanted to sleep with me.
Yes.
I didn't hear the answer. I just heard a bunch of laughter. So I just filled in the worst possible answer in my mind.
No, she actually drew a picture on the wall of what it would be like to sleep with you. And it's sort of like cave art. And it was you, and there was a little picture of John Bonet there. Listen, I will have to say that after you were on the show, what was that, like 4 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was 4 or 5.
We noticed the John Bonet theme keeps going on.
Uh-oh.
Anything we should know?
I'm responsible for bringing that back? Yeesh.
Well, I mean, you seem to... When we mention her name, you get kind of a sparkle in your eye.
It's almost like you know where she is.
If only I knew.
So, Todd is the head writer for The Onion, America's finest news source, which I noticed this week that you reported the Department of Homeland Security is going to be doing random candy searches.
Well, you just random bag searches of any suspicious characters, anybody concealing their identity.
I love it.
I mean, it's a war on terror.
Yeah, no,
so
dude.
They don't want an atmosphere that's conducive to, instilling fear.
Right.
In the public.
Right. We wouldn't, say that the subways are going to be bombed.
Want to make sure that everybody is, that nobody's frightened this Halloween.
Right. And actually, it's not terror, it's terra.
Terra.
Right. There's a UH on it.
It's a war on terror.
But this week, I was listening to NPR, and I heard a little something about you.
Really?
Whoops, no, that's George Bush. But this does have to do with George Bush. Yeah, here we go.
Good morning, I'm Renee Montaigne. The White House is up to its ears in controversy, but did make time to send a legal letter to The Onion, ordering the satirical newspaper to stop using the presidential seal. The seal can't be used commercially or to suggest the president's endorsement. The Onion counters that its readers know it's a joke. How did the White House find out? A spokesman tells a real newspaper, the New York Times, that some Bush staffers do have a sense of humor and read The Onion. This is Morning Edition.
Now, if they have did somebody explain to the White House about The Onion, or how did you find out about this?
Well, we just got a letter from the office of the White House counsel, or whatever it's called, and they were letting us know that we weren't allowed to use the White House seal without permission, and we were just all really impressed with the White House lawyers, given that they're in such a mess right now with Harriet Myers from that office is involved in a lot of problems right now. She had to resign actually last week, not resign, but withdraw her name from being on the Supreme Court because nobody liked her. And they were also in the midst of all this stuff with Scooter Libby and Karl Rove, and Dick Cheney's office is in big trouble. And we just thought, man, even in the midst of all this crisis, they're still vigilant enough and on top of their game enough to make sure that their lawyers are busy protecting the president from comedians. And we were pretty impressed with that. We figured we'd be pretty low on the priority list given all those other crises, but apparently not.
Well, I mean, The Onion, being a fine journalistic news source, has been a little bit critical of the president.
I mean, only when it's true. I mean, we just report the facts. We don't make them up.
Well, I remember one headline that says Bush announces the long national nightmare of prosperity is over, or something like that.
Yeah, the long national nightmare of peace and prosperity is finally over. That was on the week of his inauguration. He announced that. Way back in 2001, in January 2001, we were the first paper to cover that story. You may have noticed that some of the other papers are just finally starting to pick up on that story now.
Yeah, it seems like everybody sort of came around. We
were like 4 years ahead of the curve on that one.
Well, and you were probably called traitors.
Well, I'm joking about it, but to be honest, ever since we got this letter, we've when you report the news and report the facts without changing anything and just report it like it is, sometimes you make enemies. And we've had to take some heat in the past, but to be honest, this time we're a little worried because let me put it this way: we make jokes about Guantanamo Bay, but it's not funny when it's us that are going to be sent there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. I'm a little nervous.
Well, I would be.
International zones where the Geneva Convention doesn't apply, and I don't want to get sent to one.
And also, this is an administration that has argued that the government can grab American citizens and throw them in Guantanamo or wherever. No legal representation.
Right.
Nothing.
I mean, we were lucky we got a letter from a lawyer at all.
Yeah.
We're lucky that even lawyers were even involved.
Do you think people would notice if you disappeared? Do you think that?
To be honest, I don't know if they would.
Well, I think when they noticed the John Bonet website hadn't been updated in a couple of days, they might know.
You were talking about Jake Vogelnest before. He's a buddy of mine.
What a surprise! You both sort of look like you just woke up.
It's probably because usually we just did.
You guys cuddle?
Oh, not anymore.
Okay.
Those days are far behind me.
Right.
As Jake would say. But I was pretty shocked to hear the news about K-Rock, or I guess I should say K-Talk.
Why are you surprised? You came on our show, and what we played like 3 songs.
Well, I know, but you were breaking the rules.
That's right.
You weren't supposed to do that.
Or as one heavy metal band said, breaking the law.
Yeah, you're breaking the law, like Judas, like Rob Halford was breaking the law in all those public bathrooms in Berlin. But I mean, it's pretty amazing considering their commitment to rock. I mean, I don't know,
dude. Listen, the days.
Listen to all those bumpers that you have to play every 15 minutes or whatever. They're all about the rock,
right? Well,
they're about the rock is the most important thing in the world.
Well, rock used to be the most important thing in the world, and then along came hip hop. That's where when you watch MTV Cribs, it ain't about the guy that used to be the drummer for Aerosmith. It's about the Game, who got arrested at some mall this weekend for running around with a Halloween mask on.
Wait a minute. I knew that you get hassled by the cops if you're black. But you can't wear Halloween masks now?
If you're black and you're running around in a mask, I think they have an issue with it. I think it means...
it's just wrong.
Yes. I don't know.
It's not... The name of the holiday is not Hollow White.
Hollow Honky. So what do you guys... just finish up real quick. What are you guys planning to do? Are you going to write a letter back to the White House?
Well, we did send him a letter back.
What did it say? Did Herb Kornfeld write it?
That in the middle of all this stuff with Katrina and everything else and Karl Rove, we're pretty amazed that there was enough extra tax money left over to pay lawyers to send us letters.
Right.
So we suggested that maybe they could use that money more productively if they used it as tax breaks for people who write comedy.
I don't think people that write comedy actually pay taxes because they don't make any money.
That's generally the case, but people who make minimum wage, they get taxed too.
Final question for Todd Hansen, head writer of The Onion. Wayne was thumbing through your fine publication and noticed there was a story with a picture.
You looked like you were waking up at Jake's house.
A gentleman that looked strangely like you. There was like old cigarette packs all over the floor. There was like pizza boxes,
box of Cheerios.
Did you appear in a photo in The Onion?
Yeah, I've appeared in different photos in The Onion over the years, only when it was journalistically, necessary.
I said to Wayne, we were looking at that on the train, I go, from actually meeting Todd, I have a feeling that is his actual living room.
No, that wasn't my actual living room, but it was. I have appeared in my own actual living room in the Onion in the past, and it's not that different.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any nudity?
Not yet, but if you want, you can see the naked, in all of his glory, nudity of Joe Garden, Onion comedy writer Joe Garden. If you pick up those ad nauseum books, I can't remember which volume it is, sometime in the last couple of years, there was a headline. It was Area Man, the only one comfortable with his nudity.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
And it had him, like, cooking at the at the stove and hanging out in his backyard, reading a magazine, and it had a whole photo layout of him.
When I saw that, I was
poses, and it was really him.
I was like,
his real genitals.
Like, somebody's a little crazy, man, because you couldn't get me to do that.
Well, maybe someday.
Well, Todd, thanks for calling into the show, and hopefully you can come on again sometime if the black helicopters haven't taken you away.
I'm a little worried. I'm just saying, guys, give me a call sometime in the next few weeks. Check up on me, make sure that I'm still answering the phone.
All right.
Because I mean, there have been some kind of strange characters in black suits and little flesh-colored earphones going into their side of their ear, following me home from the subway platform at night. And I'm not saying that they work for the government, but I don't know.
I think it was some kind of like Men in Black.
I'm worried.
I would be too, dude. When you get letters from the government, it's no good.
I mean, letters from the White House's lawyer, the president's lawyer. I never thought I'd get a letter from the president's lawyer telling me to knock it off.
Hey, you, knock it off.
Yeah, it's a little worrisome.
You've made it, dude. You're famous.
Well, I mean, the president's got a lot of things on his mind, but apparently I'm one of them.
Yes, and if he only knew.
I wish that he would. I wish that he'd focus on some other things. I think there's probably more important things to worry about right now.
No way. The Onion. The Onion's it. The website is theonion.com.
It is, and check out our weekly radio address from President Bush.
Oh, okay,
with
cool.
The unauthorized presidential seal right on it.
Right, and Todd,
I mean, I guess they're worried that people are going to think it really was the president's real site.
That's so dumb.
And I don't know why they would possibly think that, considering some of the things we have the president saying. But you'll just check it out, and you can. All
right, maybe we'll play it on the next show.
Yeah.
And also your website is mylittleprincessisdead.com.
Yeah. me and Jake Fogelnest have a fan site called My Little Princess is Dead.
Yep. That John Bonet, what an ass on her.
I know, man. If only she had grown up to be like 12. Think how hot she'd be.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Todd Hansen from The Onion. I got to hang up on him. He might come back. Okay, I'm going to turn the rest of your mics on. See, this week I talked to the big guy here at K-Rock. I said, if you're going to do a talk show, we've kind of noticed this because we're doing one. Only 2 of the mics work with a caller. So Cousin Ed couldn't talk to Todd. Amanda couldn't talk to Todd. Sucky. Bad equipment. Ed, when do you have to go catch the train, bro?
Now.
Yeah? Should I play your interview with Audio Slave?
When I'm not here, I hate hearing my own voice.
What do you mean? You're in radio. You got to get used to your own voice.
Name one person in radio who likes to hear themselves.
Laslo.
Great. It's annoying to sit there and listen to yourself, especially in a room full of other people.
That's true. Well, you know what? We'll play this. We'll play this Bush clip real quick since Todd is listening, and Bush is his favorite guy right now, especially since he's sending threatening letters. I guess it was this week. Bush was at an event with his wife and called his wife by his mother's name, which is always a good kind of creepy thing.
Thanks for the warm welcome to Laura. Please be seated. Thank you. I am the introducer.
Introducer? Where did we get this guy?
I introduce people. I'm a people introducer.
Oh, my God.
The introducer. A rare role for me these days, but one I've been looking forward to. First of all, thank you all for coming. I want to thank Howard University for hosting this important summit. I love to be with the armies of compassion.
What does that mean?
Is that a metal band?
Armies of compassion. Dude, the doublespeak. that comes out of the government from both sides. It's just like, what are you doing to the English language?
When people hear stuff like this, I just go, "You voted for him."
Exactly.
Remember, you voted for him.
Listen,
Slap
half
yourself.
the country, but not the other half. You voted for him.
Dude, all politicians stink. They all stink. Don't say that, like, one side is, the Democrats stink, the Republicans stink.
He stinks like he don't use deodorant.
Hope to be with the armies of compassion.
Like they didn't know. There was a long pause there because they didn't understand it either. Do we clap? Was it a joke? Do we laugh?
I'm still stuck on introducer.
And so she called this summit to serve as a catalyst, to continue to rally.
Have you noticed he can only get 3 or 4 words out? He's like, to serve as a catalyst, to continue to rally.
Waiting for the teleprompter.
No kidding.
To continue to rally decent, honorable people who are working hard to make sure young Americans have a chance to realize the promise of this country.
It's all like he doesn't even believe what he's saying.
He doesn't know what he's saying.
I don't know what I'm saying either, but I at least sort of halfway pull it off a little.
Americans have a chance to realize the promise of this country. She is a great leader of this cause, a wonderful wife, and a wonderful first lady.
Now listen here closely when he calls his wife Laura Barbara.
And a wonderful first lady for our country. Barbara.
Dude, the look she gives him, like, thank you, Mr. President. She's got this look on her face like, you just call me your mom.
But it's also his daughter's name.
Oh,
that's true.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere there's like 10 psychology PhD students writing a paper on that. Because that is just too messed up.
Yeah, they say he's drinking again. He could have been, he might be, waking up in his daughter's bed. Barbara.
Oh.
Which is creepier, to think you want to have sex with your mom or your daughter?
I don't know. Reed?
Oh, because I'm from the South.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
I think we should take a quick break because Cousin Ed has to run for the train. Because Jimmy Inappropriate's doing a show? He's got a party or something going?
He's having a big party for himself.
He's got, he's having a big party. It's always great when you have to throw a party for yourself.
Dude, he threw me a birthday party.
Did he?
Well, nobody knows my birthday, so he just picked a random day and threw a surprise party.
I love it.
Was not happy.
I love it.
I got to give Jimmy a call because we weren't invited.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what's up with that?
And I was like, oh, so April 19th next year I should be aware of another surprise party. He goes, no, we're going to pick another day next year.
Great. And your website, is it back up?
No.
So let me get this straight. Like, stations are changing formats. You are going to be doing a talk show on WYSP, our sister station down there. It's a good time for maybe some exposure and so for people to sort of see what you're doing, and your website's dark.
Yeah, and it's not even our fault. Like, something went wrong with our internet service provider, whatever happened, then they lost the backup. So now my web guy is working on a whole new site. I'm like, well, can you get it up now? Because this is like Monday. I'm like, Monday night, dude, get it up because I need a job tomorrow probably, and I need people to go to the site and look.
So you're telling your web guy to get it up, right? Continue? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, but you made fun of me when I made a do-it joke.
I love it. So there's no way for people to even check out your show or anything?
It'll be up in a couple days, and I'll
Okay.
make sure I'll put a link to your site.
Right.
They called me crying that time. Like, where's the love, man? I have you on my show. There's no link. There's no audio. What's up?
Right. And I'll be on your show next Friday. We're playing no music.
Yeah, we have to.
No, we're not. We don't have to do anything, dude. You got to learn that. Look what we did here. We doubled the ratings, and we not listening to nobody.
How long you been in radio?
I don't know, 10 years.
How long you been doing a radio show, like on the air radio show?
4 weeks.
What?
15 weeks.
15 weeks.
Right.
15 years. Okay, I've survived 15 years, and you've survived 15 weeks.
How many times you been fired?
6.
Uh-huh. It's great. And you still, every time he calls me crying, dude, what am I going to do?
Make me a demo, dude. Come on.
It's what, every time.
Throw something together.
Then he finally needs me. You were pumping gas when you got fired from the radio station.
I had 5 jobs. I was married. She's like, I don't care what you do. You're still going to bring home the same amount of money.
Oof.
So
really?
I worked like a part-time radio job. I was managing a pizza joint. I was a school bus driver, all at the same time.
I can picture you as a school bus driver.
This is the Lazlow Show, the website, lazlow.com. You can email us there. We'll forward something to Cousin Ed or Wayne, who doesn't have any email.
Yeah.
You can also see pictures of people on the show and listen to every show that we have done thus far is archived at the site via MP3, and you can subscribe to it if you've got an iPod or some other MP3 player. You can subscribe to it, and it'll show up on your iPod instantly when I actually get around to posting it on, like, Mondays. So, any final words, Cousin Ed? We'll take a break. We'll be right back. 92.3 K-Rock, it's the Lazlow Show. Winding down episode 16, Reed. I shouldn't even put Wayne's mic on because he doesn't even bother.
Yeah, I know. At least when I'm not here, I have the decency to be in another state. He's just like, I don't know, where he went to the drink machine or something.
You were locked out, though, at some point in the show.
That's true.
Because we were like, why isn't Reed back? And then you're like, the phone's ringing. I'm like, what is the deal? What was great is you were down there. You had no way to get back in the station and defend yourself. We were trashing you.
What else is new?
Yeah, man. Anyways, I said episode 16. We've still got some stuff to get to. Oh, look who came back on the show. It's Wayne.
With a drink.
Did you know that Wayne told me that he was in some music videos in the 80s? Yeah, that didn't involve him banging a homeless woman.
Depeche Mode.
He was in a Depeche Mode video.
Yeah, at Malibu's.
I think it was just Malibu. I don't think it was it was not plural. It's like when people say Walmart.
What's Malibu?
What's Malibu?
A little new wave club out in Long Island.
Yeah.
Actually in Lido Beach, Long Beach.
One of the first places I think U2 played.
I don't know about that.
I heard that it was U2
They probably played in Ireland first.
Oh, in America.
I'm just guessing.
Okay.
You might have known that because DRE was definitely a sponsor of the Malibus.
We broadcasted there from all the time when I was on that station.
So what are you doing in the Depeche Mode video? You're just in the crowd? Or?
Just kind of dancing up, fluffer. I did a little fluffing back then. Just dancing in the dance floor.
Was
what kind of dancing?
I kind of got dissed, because it was an audition really to be in the video, so they had like a whole dance thing, and I kind of got pulled over to the side, and I had the big mohawk and a Public Image Limited shirt on. They said, "How'd you come here trying to be in our video wearing that T-shirt?" I said, "This is the shirt I wear every day, and I ain't changing it for use."
Use. Was someone a little goth when they were younger? You?
Yeah, a little gothy. Yeah,
sure.
Good.
Sure.
Well, did you ever get to do The Grind? Or Club MTV?
No. A Dee Dee Ramone video?
No.
Go to the beach house?
A Dee Dee Ramone video I went out for? Sure. Funky guy.
Were you in it?
No.
Were you like Kevin?
I did a cameo, too. Word Up. You know that one? In the mic. I'm right in front of the mic. Cameo, Word Up.
You did a cameo in the cameo video.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Why would you admit it? Like,
that was
Word Up.
That was a crack night, too. I got to tell you.
Oh, you were on crack?
We were cracked up, man.
Was it low fat?
Yeah, no, it wasn't low fat back then.
So let me get this straight. You were on crack, and at some point somebody said, "Hey, why sit here and wallow in our own misery? Let's go be on a crap music video."
Yeah, well, at the time it was a way to make money as an extra. So
how did you find out about these? I thought you said that
I had a friend that had a mohawk before me, and he kind of
Oh, that explains it.
Right.
Somehow he got signals.
No, and he kind of just, had a look that people were kind of searching for, and I kind of just tagged along. And, we're right in the beginning there. And he kind of like opens up the opening scene. You kind of see us off to the left.
You're like Kevin Federline when you were younger, dude. You're like that dancer guy in the back.
I tried to be there.
Yeah?
You could have ended up with Dee Dee Ramone.
Or Britney Spears.
I'm glad I'm not with Dee Dee.
And you mean dead?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Although he went out good.
So let me get this straight. You were, I'm sorry to interrupt your Dee Dee Ramone memorial hour here, but so you're smoking crack at
Yeah, it was actually it was actually underneath the Brooklyn Bridge.
Of course it was.
Sure.
and then you said, "Let's go check out this video."
You had to be there at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, so of course it's 2:30, and you're
pretty much from about, if I remember, 10 o'clock on or something like that. Yes. And you kind of go there. You're looking for the money.
Well, evidently we have a little habit to sort out.
Exactly.
Sure.
And all that money went straight back into the
got
habit.
like $78 of money. That was one night. You got to get high for the rest of the night.
What does a rock of crack run back in those days?
Oh, you got 20 jumbos.
Jumbos?
20 jumbos. You got about 4 hits out of a 20 jumbos. It was $5 a hit.
I'm so square right now.
Yes.
Amanda, any crack?
Any crack stories?
I'm
So if somebody said to you 20 jumbo, you wouldn't know what they were talking about?
I would be like, they're not that big.
A hot
I
dog?
don't really see what you're talking about there.
But it was always the thing, when you first got into smoking crack, you went there with $20 thinking that was it, like a bag of weed. But then eventually you learned that, like on a Friday night, you would start at 8 o'clock and you'd go to the ATM machine and pull out $300, okay? And that got you 15, 20 jumbos. At 1 o'clock in the morning, you were back at the ATM. And it was scary, the neighborhood you had to go into. It was the ghetto. You went up to a
You're
hole
the reason
in a
it
brick
was
wall.
scary.
No. It was scary because of the clientele that lived there.
Oh, okay.
So you went up to a hole in a brick wall. and you
Basically, a
spoke
hole in a
through-
brick wall, and the places, they were notorious for selling, so the cops kind of hung out. So it was like,
I would hope so.
Yeah, but you had to fake the cops out. You had to have empty vials that you'd put in like white bread and ivory soap. So when the cops popped you, you'd say, "Look, this is what they sold me. They ripped me off. Why don't you go bust them?" And you'd get a block away and take it out of your sock or whatever, your underwear. But you always had to have a backup. So if the cops did get you, also that you could actually say, "Look, what I have it's garbage. I got ripped off."
And they would say, like, what are they with the Consumer Protection Society? I want to make sure.
Exactly. I got to say, I had a lot of get-out-of-jail-free cards with the cops in Brooklyn. Many a times I was told, dump it and walk away and don't let me see you here again.
Really?
And when you got a big 16-inch mohawk, there ain't too many guys walking around like that. So
I love that you're like smoking crack under the Brooklyn Bridge with a huge mohawk. You're like, this is a terrible
I actually didn't have the mohawk back then. That kind of grew into that. But.
This place has really hit the skids.
So you know where I'm coming from.
You see the price of real estate?
Put a nice refrigerator box and you're underneath the bridge. It's home.
How
were
are
you
you
doing?
not dead?
We are getting to
That is an
nothing
amazing
else.
question.
Honestly, how are you not dead?
It's an amazing
Or
question.
but you say you've never been to jail.
Never
the
went
cops
to jail once. Never got picked up once.
And how do you kick crack? I thought once you did crack, that's pretty much it,
Yeah, I had a little discussion with Leslie. Eventually, I did go to a therapist. Mm-hmm. And, the first time I sat
This
down...
is the greatest story ever, by the way.
The guy just, he said to me, I need you to be honest. I was honest, told him everything I did. He's like, you got multiple dependencies. And the thing that really brought the guy around to like that, I don't know what made it hit me, was that I spilled my guts that I took NyQuil every night to cut the edge to go to sleep because I couldn't go to sleep.
And how much NyQuil would that be?
What do you mean?
How much NyQuil did you have each night?
Oh, I guess one capful.
Oh, that's it?
Sure.
I thought you told me you're drinking the whole bottle.
Well, there was times you had drank the whole bottle, but,
So one capful of NyQuil is enough to kill that crack high.
That's actually their new tagline.
It's enough to cut the edge.
Yeah, right. That's right.
You'd be
That's in their
surprised.
advertising. They're rolling out in the fall.
There was nothing like freebase and
Yeah.
popping a volume. You want the speed, but yet you want the volume to control it.
What?
It's like
A volume?
Yeah, you used to pop volumes when you...
Is
No,
anyone
hold
else lost here?
Hold on a second. Let me get out the Wayne dictionary translation. Did you just say volume?
Yeah, volume.
No, you said volume.
I wasn't sure if that was a crack term or a radio term.
All right, so I mispronunciated, but...
Oh, man.
Dude,
it was
you know what?
volume,
You know
okay?
what you could do?
Seconal, tuminal, quaaludes.
I say Wayne runs for president because he talks like him.
I voted for George.
Yeah, you did. He loves
Yes,
him.
That's right.
He loves
You just
George.
wanted to all bring me down. I was a happy camper come the day after the
I
election.
think hey, if you're voting, then that's fine. I don't care who you vote for, as long as you're voting.
So all those clips we play of George Bush, we haven't changed our mind.
A little bit, but still, my whole voting process was like there was a war going on, and it's like you don't change fighters in the middle of the war,
And guess who buses him to the polls?
Yeah, Laslo, because he has to do his good deed.
Right. So
for the polls.
Yeah.
But don't drive a Republican to the poll, fool.
Huh? What do you? Oh, you want me to go push him off into the river?
No.
The best was one time, Laz. He picked me up and my old lady at different times, and we actually had to say, "What buttons do you want us to pull?"
No, but
look. I know. No, there was none of that.
The great thing about voting booths, though, a great place to smoke crack. Nice and warm in there.
Right.
You've been, huh?
Right,
and you don't know what 20 jumbos are.
So true. And it gives you that clarity of mind.
No,
that you
I will
need
have
really
to
make a
say,
decision.
you hear everybody. You know what's weird is we get email from people. It's like these guys from California email. They say, we listen online the second it's posted. They go, we feel like we know Reed and Wayne because we feel like they're our weekly friends.
Well, see, then I don't need to share anything else because they already know me. So what else do they need?
And
well, we're going to have your sister phone
apparently,
comments in.
they know me a lot better now after this one's come in.
when I first met Wayne, Wayne was a very different person. There was he wasn't always completely on the up and up.
There was a lot of
I'll say
anti-government,
and I got him. I didn't really get him, but I sort of said, dude, you're in your 40s. Maybe time to slow down a little bit. And so now, he's got like a great job. He's got like benefits, health care.
Good wife.
He's paid off evidently.
Tens of thousands of
dollars in debt from credit cards and buying crack.
Yeah, and another $5,000 that he owed to a hole in a wall in the Bronx somewhere.
I'm going to tell you some of the tricks about how we got over on putting the money in the hole.
Is this like 2 stuffs for $1? Like Jim Florentine was telling us, when you go to the strip club, you tear the dollar in half.
Yes, this is what we did.
So it works with strippers and crack.
Actually, what you did was you ripped the corners off of $5 and $10 bills and you taped them on a $1 bill. And because it's dark, I'm very dark, all the guy would see is, and he's nervous. He thinks he's getting, first of all, it's a white guy buying it from him. He thinks I'm a cop. I can't begin to tell you how many times they didn't want to sell to me because they thought I was a cop with a mohawk.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually you'd break them and you say, come, dude, look at me. I'm scratching, I'm itching, I need a fix, man. I was only here an hour ago. You sold me 10 then.
Wow.
That's
what we've learned on the show is basically all ingenuity in the entire world is driven by A, drug abuse, or B, porn.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's pretty smart to cut the corners off of $5 and $10 bill.
That's terrible.
But if they
it's terrible.
I'm just thinking that people are doing that to strippers.
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah, you rip the buck in half.
You rip the buck in half, you get 2 stuffs for $1.
Exactly.
Oh, but then you could say that you screwed a stripper.
True.
I like her.
True. You ever been to a strip club?
No.
Come on, yes you have.
Easy little house on the prairie.
I got offered to work at a strip club before.
Okay, so this is hold on.
Back home?
Reed's sister.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Probably on the subway coming over here.
I will have to say, now, Reed was telling us when we were at the Noodle House before the show that you were approached by some man in a deli that goes, "You have a beautiful aura and I want to sleep with you." What happened?
Okay. Well, which man at the deli? Because there were 2.
Right, because there were 2, which took up like an hour and a half of her time, and neither of them she knew.
So he said, "You have a great aura, and if I bang you..."
There was something about my soul that day, because they both told that they had this amazing soul presence, and one of them went on for 45 minutes about my soul presence, and then went on to our soul presence in bed, and how that I should come experience.
Oh, it obviously worked, because you should have shut him off after 45 seconds.
It's true, but he was so mesmerizingly freaky. I just had to hear what he had to say. I just had to know.
This is the problem that people have that don't live in New York. They don't know how to just like turn their back and just walk away. And they think that they have to be polite, even to these freaks who are like, "Yo, we should get our freak on together, and you will see colors, baby."
And so, but honestly, I feel my mind is embittered by it. And then I went back and, to give this guy, for some reason I gave this guy my number. I'm so sorry, I know. And I went back in the store and I was like, I need a pen and paper. And then the guy who owned the store, who gave me the pen and paper, also talked about my soul aura and invited me in the back room.
We obviously saw that you're a knucklehead and it works.
Yeah, I know, God. And offered me weed, money,
the guy
gave
behind
me Corona, gave me cigarettes.
This is the guy who owned the deli.
Who owned the deli, of course.
The guy that owned the deli was giving you weed?
He wanted to give me, he wanted to give me as much weed as I wanted, as much money I wanted. He just kept wanting to give me money.
Let's go to this deli.
Really?
Exactly. It's in Brooklyn.
You think he's going to give you something?
I'm going to pimp her out.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say I represent her.
Actually, we'll just
Sammy.
We'll just follow her around town and just get free stuff all night. How does that sound?
Did he give you any scratch-offs?
Oh, I should ask for some.
I think those are counted, so he probably can't give those away. But the rest of the stuff, it's all. Yeah, he was going to give you money out of the register, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was going to give you money out of the register. And then he wanted to give me his number, and then I was typing in his number on my phone, and I noticed my hands were shaking uncontrollably, and I was like, "Time to get out." Myself is nervous.
See,
my aura is now horrified.
See, it's cool being a guy, and of course it sucks sometimes, and it sucks being a girl sometimes, but this was my secret peek into the world of women, She gets me out of a parking ticket, and then some Pakistani guy is about to give her the deli just because she walked in. Or at least a beer. Because of her aura. Is that what it's like to be a girl all the time? Amanda,
let's ask Amanda.
Amanda, do you ever get free stuff from people who...
This is the way it usually goes with me.
Yeah.
Like, this guy on the street was like, "Hey, can I ask you a really inappropriate question?" And my answer was...
Jimmy?
My answer was,
Cousin Ed?
no. and I just moved on. Like I don't stick around to hear what's going on with my soul.
She's young. She's from the South. You trust people, right?
Yeah, don't do that. Because I have a very innocent face, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
People ask me for directions all the time, and they also ask me if I will watch them please themselves.
Oh, I was going to ask you that.
Every time I go under the Brooklyn Bridge. Every time.
But at least they're asking. Because usually,
they don't ask.
Usually Wayne just whips out his junk and rock and rolls. Wayne's been known to be you know what? I can't even talk about what you've been known to do. In the grocery store, his girl will sometimes say, you've got...
I'd have my hands in my...
Pants. In public, and he doesn't even notice it.
I would just, forget that I'm in the supermarket.
Was it cereal hour really turned you on?
Hey, he's having a flashback to when he robbed that train car in the Brooklyn rail yard and took all those Apple Jacks
for the next 15 weeks.
Yeah, that was another story.
Reed, we should introduce him to that club that people get turned on by food.
Oh, yes.
What is this?
We may not be able to talk about that on the air.
Yeah, let's talk
people
about...
that have a fetish for food, and that's
Wayne's
about all
got a
we
fetish
can
for
say.
food, too.
Well, we'll talk about it off the air. But,
okay.
It's not... Yeah.
Wayne, I was telling Wayne about one of my fantasies, which... Stop hitting the microphone.
What's going on over there?
Wayne, I was telling Wayne about one of my fantasies that involved...
a sandwich?
I'll get to the sandwich, yes. It involved like some hot twins and a tractor, and I was like a farmer, and it was a whole thing. And Wayne goes, I like that fantasy too, but they bring me a ham sandwich before we bang. So his fantasies involve the chicks bring him food, he gets to eat, and then he bangs the chicks.
You must love Hooters.
Actually, my office is only a block away from a Hooters. I've been known to spend some Thursday evenings there.
By the way, Amanda, Wayne's a carpenter during the week. It's
my real job.
His real job. And then he comes on here and talks about smoking crack under the Brooklyn Bridge. We are so running out of time. We had a bunch of stuff to get to, but I guess we'll get to it next week, assuming the station doesn't change formats again. We turn into like some kind of Bollywood Indian station or something.
Bollywood.
What?
Bollywood. I love it.
Yeah, man. Amanda Melson, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Amanda, can I escort you to the elevator?
You guys want to come with me?
Yeah, exactly.
Meggie loves elevators.
Go up and down.
So does her soul.
And how much money you have in your pocket.
Right. Did you actually get any weed from the guy?
No, I just downed my Corona and then left, and he kept wanting me to come back, and I was supposed to come back later and get weed, and I was just dipped out.
Does Reed hook you up while you're in town?
No, I don't think.
Is she staying with you?
Yeah. This is an awkward conversation.
Yeah. By the way, Reed didn't know.
Well, he knows now.
I know, but he's such
such
a dummy. He's like, yeah, she has dreadlocks. That didn't mean she smokes.
Yeah, she hangs out.
I look the other way. I'm not feeding the lifestyle. That's all I'm saying.
But she might go out and jeopardize her life by going somewhere to cop and be in the wrong neighborhood.
Right, you know what? I don't appreciate it because I ride his scooter and I feed his gay lifestyle. He doesn't even help me with my
See?
part.
Nice.
So I'm trying to hook you up the next time you come, then maybe there's a 20 bag sitting on the coffee table for you. Are you a blunt girl or pipe? Well, papers? What is it?
I personally like bubblers.
Okay. So if we're done with a High Times Hour.
Really, yeah.
Reed's sister, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I didn't bring my camera. I should put a picture of you on the site. Yeah, it was Reed, thanks for actually showing up this week and for bringing your sister. And try to listen to back to the show.
I will do.
So you can hear what we found out about you.
I have more family members to break out.
And Wayne, what are you doing this week?
I don't really know. I'm going someplace special tomorrow night.
That's right. Yeah, we're Reed and Wayne and I will be at the Ron and Fez / Opie and Anthony Halloween party at the Hard Rock tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll be in the VIP section getting loaded.
And does Jake know he has a job still?
I don't know. You think he'd come in by now?
Maybe he's giving you an extra hour.
Yeah, right. It's like my talk show. This was episode 16. Previous episodes with previous guests and stories from Wayne about
life.
Planned Parenthood.
20 jumbos.
20 jumbos.
I bet you the phone's lighting up right now. There's a ton
when you
of
were
people.
talking about that, I swear to God, I've never seen the phone line.
I'm going to say it was Myrtle Avenue and Harmon Street.
No.
I can't say the location?
You can, but now what are people going to do with that?
They're going to know the 83rd precinct was only a block away.
Dude,
he's looking at the phones. He's just
no. I'm telling you, I would love to take calls on the show, but it's like I was talking to the guys here at K-Rock. I said, you guys have got to do something about the phone system because the phone system is not set up to do a talk show out of here. And
maybe we need to move over one studio.
Okay. Get your ego in check, fool. The website for the show is lazlow.com, and there's pictures of Wayne in a diaper and Reed evidently in some kind of sexy pose that got people excited.
That's sad.